record. Are you guys coming right there?
Yeah.
All right.
Seconds.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so to get back to everything, we belong to a large group called the Harshal Group of Companies. Goodness gracious, sir. We're almost finished. You only get there now.
Sorry about that.
Please pull one of these chairs there. All right, so and we've got 4 entities within the company. Every single sales office is an independent distributor of Stock Market College. Stock Market College will be the company that you guys will be working for. Now we are 3 campuses in South Africa. Our first campus is based in the head office is based in Woodmead. I'll play you guys a little video regarding that a bit later. No, it's the student wants to be admitted. Admit all.
Yeah, I'm busy connecting now. Yes.
Okay, Martin, you're also in. I see that you're in now. Okay. I'll be playing you guys a little video later how it looks in head office. Just turn down your volume again, please. And then we've got the campus here in the Western Cape, and we've got a campus in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, what I say when I mean campus is that Stock Market College is exactly what it says it is. It is a college, and we teach people how to make money on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, but I'm going to get to that now. We are a bank CETA registered company. I'll get into that now. And then we've also got our own stockbroker called Quick Trade, which is registered by the FSCA, which I'll go a bit more into detail as well. Now, and we've also got One Life Direct Insurance, but you guys won't be affiliated with that company. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. All right. Now, the Stock Market College is directly linked with the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Now, by raising of hands, who knows what the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is? The JSE. You know? Yes? You know what the JSE is. So everybody who knows what the JSE is, give me a thumbs up. This is fantastic. When I say thumbs up for everybody on Zoom, then everybody in my classroom goes like that. Okay, so yeah, guys, if you don't give me thumbs up, obviously I'm not going to know if you're in front of your computer and if you are listening, and then you are going to lose out. All right. So the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is now known as Johannesburg Securities Exchange, and that is a platform. It's basically a large company that that lists large other companies on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange for people of the public to buy and sell shares freely. Now, the only way that I can explain this to you that's going to make sense, just wait for this person to log in. The only way that I can explain this to you guys that makes sense is the JSE, most of the people will see on the end of every news bulletin, they've got the Johannesburg Stock Exchange that you see the green arrows and the red arrows, and they're going up and they're going down, and there's dollar signs and there's pounds and euros and all those things. Now that is only the platform that people use to buy and sell shares. Okay, so if you think about the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, it's a platform that brings buyers and sellers together. At the end of the day, you can look at it like it being Gumtree. So everybody knows Gumtree. Gumtree is, let's say for instance, you've got a phone that you want to sell, you need some money and you want to get rid of the phone. You're going to take the phone and you're going to go on Gumtree. Denver, maybe. It's not my internet. There's nothing wrong with my internet, Denver. It should be your internet if there's a problem with your video. Okay, so it's basically like Gumtree. So if you want to sell a phone, You're going on Gumtree. You have to open yourself a profile, put in your email address, and sometimes they ask you for a cell phone number or a contact number. Once you've created yourself a profile, you are going to click on the button that says post a free ad. You are then going to put in a description of the phone. You're going to say, you know, it's nice condition, screen halfway cracked, but can still go on the internet and shit like that. And then it's going to ask you to give a price. You're going to put down your price. You're going to say, click ad, or then upload a photo of the thing. You're going to click on post ad, and then it will be widely available on Gumtree. So then if someone else is looking for a phone, then they are going to go on Gumtree and they are going to look, I want a phone. Your phone, among others, will then come up on Gumtree. That person is going to click on that link, and it's going to ask, give them the option of asking you, you know, either to negotiate or where can we meet? Is it still available? Whatever the case may be. Should you then accept this person's offer, you're going to meet and you are going to trade. You're going to trade him the phone for the money. All right? And that is exactly what the Johannesburg Stock Exchange does. It trades shares for companies for money. So you can buy and sell shares in companies. Now, if that phone that you bought on Gumtree loses its value and you want to resell it, obviously you're going to make a loss. But if that phone all of a sudden becomes like a collector item, for instance, this is just hypothetically speaking, and you want to resell that phone, then you're going to make a profit. And that's the same way it works with the JSE. All the companies that's listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the more people who buy into that company, the more value the company gets. The less people that buy into the company, or they withdraw their previous or current shares, obviously the less valuable the company is going to get. All right. Now, don't be mistaken. I'm going to get to the next to this a little bit later, but people are under the impression that if the stock market goes up, if you see green arrows, then it's all, you know, lovely bees and flowers, and people are making money. And when they see the red arrows, then they think, well, fuck, you know, something's going to happen. Everybody's losing money. But that is the wrong impression that people have of the stock market. Whether it's going up or down, you can still make money. I'm going to explain a little bit later how. Now, how our company basically works is you guys will be working for the Stock Market College. You will be representatives of the Stock Market College. Please do not mistake a salesperson for a financial advisor. Even though that we are in the financial industry, I don't recommend that anybody of the consultants advise on any financial sector to anybody. Myself has got a junior stockbroking license, and I am still not even allowed to give personal financial advice to anybody. I can gooi something in the air and say we can buy that, but I'm not going to tell you you can buy that share. It's going to make money. All right, so we are not financial advisors. What we do, however, is we teach people how to make money on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. All right, so after this slide, the next slide, I'm going to show you guys a little video how it looks inside the campus and what our clients do. So at the end of the day, when everybody will answer yes to the next question. If you go up to any person and you ask them, do you want to make money? What will the answer be? Yes. It's going to be yes. And then if you ask the person the next question, so what are you currently doing about it? Then, Randall, ek's net gou besig met 'n meeting, ek bel jou nou terug, hoor. Hey, is dit dringend? Wil jy hulp nodig hê nou? Okay, ek hou vir my vas, ek net vir die foon vir jou landie vat. Dankie. Randall, ek sal jou goed terugbel, hoor. All right. So what people want to do is okay, let's get back to, if you ask the people the question that, what are they currently doing about it? Then most of the people are going to be like, yeah, but there's no opportunity. Okay, now, I'm going to try and swear as less as possible in this presentation, but my first answer to them will be cock. Because there's so much opportunity out there, it's just that people aren't looking for the opportunity. one thing that one of the ads or the memes that I saw during the lockdown is that if you don't come out of this lockdown with either a new skill, what was the rest of it? I'm sure everybody said a new skill or something that you can do that you haven't done before, then you are really, doof. And that's one of it's a stupid meme, but it's one of the things that actually got to me and said, okay, I came out doing presentations to a fucking computer, and I think that's a skill for me.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but it worked, and we've done business like that. But in order for people to make money, everybody obviously, when it comes to the knowledge, everybody wants to make money, but they don't know how, to make money. Now, people can open businesses so they can buy property, but all of that shit costs money. So people need money in order to make money. Same thing with the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, but it doesn't cost that much, and it's only the effort that counts. All right. So to get back to the point, at the Stock Market College, people want to invest money, but we do not invest people's money for them. We do not take people's money to place it on shares or on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange or whatever. We teach the people how to make money. There's a saying, give a man a fish and he can, look after his family, teach a man how to fish, whatever the saying is, but that's true. So instead of us giving the people the money, we show them how to make their own money. And when it comes to the lockdown, a lot of people has lost faith in the economy, and I'm not even talking about the government. But then people think that, but because of the lockdown, everything, went down. That is true. A lot of companies has delisted themselves from the Johannesburg Stock Exchange due to revenue loss. But there are still 435 companies listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. There was, I think, 460 something. It was like 19 or 20 companies delisted themselves. But now those prices of those companies are at the lowest point they will be in our lifetime. If we take, for instance, a company like Sasol shares 3 years ago was like 800 and something rand. Last year it dropped down to 400 rand. 2 weeks into the lockdown, it was 20 rand and 23 cents.
Yeah.
The moment that happened, I, for instance, bought shares into Sasol, and it's currently back at 80 rand. That's a 60 rand growth per share. So in our lifetime now, for the next, I say 2 to 7 months, 2 to 6 months, those prices of the stock exchange is going to be at the lowest point at the moment. The oil was $70-something a barrel. Now it's currently trading at, it was at 19, now it's back at 30 or 31, yeah. And so all of those things, it has had a negative impact on the market, but now it's at the lowest point. So if we buy now, in 2-3 years time, you're going to be, and that is what we do at Stock Market College. We teach the people how these things work. Because if you watch the news, you see the green and the red arrows, and you see this and that, but nobody really understands, what value this has for the world. One of the richest people in the world, a guy called Warren Buffett. I'm sure some of you have obviously read either some motivational things or heard of Warren Buffett. Has never worked for anybody a day in his life. He bought his first share at the age of 9 in Coca-Cola, and he is something like 300 and something billion rand strong just off shares. He's just been buying shares his whole life from the stock market. And he's not the only person. I can name a few that obviously got filthy rich. But what we try and teach the people is that you can make a primary income from the stock market. You're not going to become a millionaire overnight. That shit doesn't take. One of his sayings was also people. The reason why people don't become rich overnight, people don't become rich overnight. I'll go look at. I'll post it on the group. Is because why people don't become successful is because they don't want to become rich slowly, and everybody wants to put some money into forex or whatever, and then they lose their money. They want to become rich overnight. So at Stock Market College, we teach the people how to invest their money directly on the stock market. Now, by doing that, we provide an education. By the way, Stock Market College has been in existence since 2002. So we're going for 18 years this year. We are registered with the Department of Higher Education. That's a CETA accredited. I'm going to post all of this also on the group so you guys can have the licenses. But we provide an education for the stock market. So every single day at our campuses and some of our offices, our clients come with their laptops or tablets or cell phones, and they sit and trade on the stock market, making money. So we're not a company that's going to give you a CD with software or a USB with software and a couple of links to YouTube and say, "Daar gaat jy, go and do your own thing." Our clients come and sit at the office. The office next door, one of our stockbrokers is currently there. Obviously, hasn't. We had 2 clients that was willing to come in due to the coronavirus. But all of the training is done daily now through head office on Zoom, so all of our clients can do it through Zoom. And the nice thing about that is that when our clients do their training, they do actual physical trades. We used to have the classes during the day. Obviously, some clients that had to work during the lockdown felt that they were, a little bit disadvantaged. So we moved a lot of the classes to the evenings as well. And we've got some classes on Saturdays. Now, all the stock markets are only open from Monday morning till Friday night. Okay, everything closes. I think the last market closes at like 2 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Saturdays and Sundays, there's no markets available. So Saturdays, it will only be physical training. But during the course of the week, the JSE is open from 9 to 5. Where you can trade the normal CFDs. I'll explain that now. And Forex is 24/5. So from Monday to Friday, for 24 hours, you can trade Forex. So our clients come and sit in front of a stockbroker. Currently, they're doing that online. They buy shares. The broker will say, right, these are the shares that you're going to buy today. We're only going to look at selling them like a day later or 2 days later. Some of them even that same day. We've had instances where clients come in, buy shares, and 2 or 3 hours later they sell the shares and they make a huge profit. So while they are learning how to make money, they are actually earning the money. All right, so that's a nice thing. So yeah, that we provide the full education. We teach the people about the stock market and how to buy and sell shares. At the current point in time, our online management system, which is through the Zoom classes, is the most popular. We've got approximately 800 to 900 people logging on every single night doing their Zoom classes. And these are all new clients. The clients who already know how to trade, obviously they don't log in anymore. Now, the purpose of stock market is to learn clients to trade the financial markets. Those financial markets consist out of CFDs, Forex, and commodities. Okay. Now, by a show of thumbs up, who knows what CFDs are? Yes, my man. What's your name? Say your name first.
My name's Matthew.
Matthew, what is a CFD?
Also, contracts with difference. So that's basically companies that put together to become like stronger stocks that form a stronger unit so that you can sell better onto the markets.
Okay, fantastic. So we've got a brainiac here in the office, and he explained exactly what it was. It's a contract for difference. Fantastic. I'm happy to see that you've got some background in the stock market. So a CFD, the correct term for it is contract for difference. I'm not going to go into the explanation of that. The basics that you need to know is CFDs are only listed companies. Listed companies, whether it's on Johannesburg Stock Exchange or New York Stock Exchange or the China market, Australian market, whatever the case may be. It is a company, a normal company. Now, 400 and let's make it 430 companies currently listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Who can tell me some of those companies? Except you, Matthew. Is there anybody that knows any of the companies that's currently listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange? You can either raise your hand or just give me a thumbs up. Yes, sir. Dis-Chem is currently listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Anybody, any takers? Shoprite Checkers, currently listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Amazon is New York Stock Exchange, but yeah, it's a CFD. Allen Gray is listed. Basically, all you need to do is think of a company, not the Centra Spaza shop on the left-hand corner of Voortrekker in March. They won't be listed, but all the companies, how I usually tell the clients is all the companies that you see adverts of on TV. So if you watch TV the whole day, if there's an advert of a company, they're listed. Okay. Or they are part of a company that's listed. For instance, a company like Tiger Brands is a listed company on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Now, you can buy shares into Tiger Brands, but what is Tiger Brands? Tiger Brands is a company that has got Colgate, Kellogg's, what's this, Head and Shoulders shampoos of Procter & Gamble falls under them. The people who make these pens most probably fall under them. all the basic macaronis, the pastas and sauces. Say again?
FMCGs.
Yes. All those things is combined, and Tiger brands are making these. Yes, are the main holder, the main entity of these brands. Bacoma is now a different thing. Pioneer Foods is a different. So all this, they got like hundreds or thousands of food brands that's underneath them, but you can buy Tiger brand shares. All right. So all of these companies that are listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, that is CFDs. Now Forex, by raise of hand or give me a thumbs up on Zoom or anybody inside there except Matthew, what is Forex? I've got, what is this? Joshua Peterson, you are allowed to speak. I will unmute you. What is Forex?
So it's another platform where you are allowed to do exchange, like stock exchange, for example, as well.
Incorrect. Incorrect. It's Forex is not a platform.
It's foreign exchange, where the exchange of commodities and in stock as well as in currency.
Your first answer was right, the second answer was wrong. Okay, so the first answer.
Foreign currency.
Say again?
Forex, it's foreign currency. You buy and sell dollars or pounds.
That is correct. Forex is foreign exchange. It's got nothing to do with a platform of other stocks. Foreign exchange is just currencies. That's all it consists of. It's when you measure currencies of one company with another company, and then you can buy and sell shares within these currencies. It's not any other stock of any stock market on Forex. It's just foreign exchange, just currencies. And then we've got commodities. Who can tell me what commodities are? Yeah?
Gold,
Yeah.
platinum,
Oil, gold, platinum, soya beans, sunflowers, canola. Who have I got here? Coffee. Sipisisle, you raised your hand.
Oh, yes, I just wanted to answer what commodities are.
What is your answer, dear?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so commodities, I would just, in a nutshell, all right, perfect. Commodities are gold, platinum, silver, your coffee, and mostly I'd say it's minerals.
Yes. Okay, so you are 100% correct. The word that we usually use between stockbrokers is tangibles. So tangibles, how I can explain that, is usually stuff that you can feel, see, and some of them taste. I would not recommend anybody taste a bar of gold or platinum, but I'm sure that you can. All right. So tangibles are commodities, anything that we can see, feel, and taste. So those are the three main entities. We've also got indices that's also that we can trade with, but those are the guys with the big bucks that trade with that. Our clients don't really invest into through quick trade with indices. Only through quick trade plus are the guys that use 5 million and upwards for their accounts in order to buy the Dow Jones and the FTS and all those things. All right. Now, in order for the people to buy any of these platforms, whether it's CFDs, Forex, or commodities, we need a platform, a software platform to trade with. Now, Quick Trade has bought the South African rights. We are one of two companies that can trade with ZAR accounts on MetaTrader 5. Anybody else, all the brokers, other brokers on MetaTrader 5 will be offshore. We do not own MetaTrader 5, however. We are not the owners of MetaTrader 5. It's a German company that owns it. And we only use it as a platform in order to buy and sell the shares. So MetaTrader 5 is widely, freely available on Google Play or iStore. Anybody can go and download it. But once you download it and you install it, it will ask you to open an account, whether it's a demo or a real account, with a stockbroker. And then obviously once we get to that point, then we open an account with Quick Trade. Quick Trade is one of the South African listed. It's us and GT247, but GT247 also uses Quick Trade as their stockbroker. All right. So now through MetaTrader is the platform that we use to buy and execute these shares with the help of Quick Trade. Now, Quick Trade is our stockbroker. Our stockbroker, Quick Trade, was only fully licensed in 2014. even though we've had Quick Trade as a helping hand to another broker called Velocity Traders in Claremont. We took about 4 or 5 years in order for us to get our full stockbroking license for the company, and now we can let people trade directly on the stock market. Now, why a stockbroker? It doesn't matter whether you are Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, or a petrol attendant at the engine garage. If you want to trade shares on any stock market, you need a stockbroker. You have to go through a stockbroker. You can't do it directly at the JSE. Okay, so that is Quick Trade. That is our stockbroker. And those stockbrokers obviously help the people to invest their money on the stock market. All right, now these are our licenses. I'm going to post some of this also on the group. On the left-hand side, we've got our Bank CETA license, which is directly with the Department of Higher Education. Bank CETA is a division of the Department of Higher Education. And anybody that wants to trade, educate anybody on anything, whether it's on the mining industry, the financial industry, or just the normal schools, whether it's universities, UNISA, UWC, any form of education, you need to have a CETA accredited license. Okay, and we got this license many moons ago, and we have to, I think, reapply for a license every 3 years or 4 years, I'm not exactly sure. And then the Financial Services Board was previously known as the Financial Services Board, is currently known as the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, and our license number is 45262. Now, the nice thing about having this, and we give this to all of our consultants, is that there are so many scams, so many. Even myself, who trades whether it's JSE or Forex on any platform that I use, I always get some form of a pop-up that says, join this lady who made $3,252.83 in 1 day. They never show the lady, but when you click on the link, it takes you to some stockbroking firm to open a demo account. You get $1,000 for free, and which they say you can withdraw. And then you go and you open this account, and then you trade, you make money. Now you want to withdraw. And then some guy phones you and say, okay, but you need to deposit $100 in order to make the withdrawal. And you guys will be amazed at how many people actually deposit that $100, and that's how those people make money, and then you can never withdraw. Okay, so the nice thing about that is if someone ever comes to you and say, yeah, but I think this is a scam, then you can go on his phone or wife or tablet or laptop, go on the Financial Sector Conduct Authority website, type in our license number 45262, and it will appear with all the major investing companies and stockbrokers of South Africa. Okay, that is the nice, awesome thing about that. Yeah, so those are the two main licenses. We are also registered at the Direct Selling Association called DSA, but every single independent distributor, so every branch has got a different license for that. The DSA is, the Direct Selling Association is basically an association that controls anybody that sells anything. So whether it's toothpaste or oranges, or if you want to sell something, then it's directly linked with the Consumer Act. Now the Consumer Act says that if you buy anything from anyone, you've got up to 7 days to return it for a full refund. So everybody that's registered by the DSA are entitled to that, to return whatever they bought within a period of 5 to 7 working days for a full refund. Now we are registered by them, and then obviously all of our clients that aren't happy with our service, whatever the case may be for other reasons, they can withdraw their full membership within a period of 5 to 7 days. Okay, but we'll get into that a little bit later during the presentation. All right, so what we are going to learn after today, tomorrow is going to be a different story. I'm just going to explain to you guys what we are trying to do with the company. I've already explained the Zoom rules and so on. I've already explained to you SMC and Quick Trade, the product overview, accreditation, And then we're going to get into the target market. After the target market, I'm going to show you guys how we are going to pay you as consultants. We're going to take a little break. We go through the sales process, watch a presentation structure. We're going to take another lunch break, and then the pricing, affiliate definition, where do we find our clients, and then I will share my link with you guys to start finding those clients. All right. Now, the target market, the people that we are looking for. Before I give you that, our clients, like I said before, trade directly on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Due to our current licenses, no one under the age of 18 is allowed to trade, have a license at the stock market, the JSE itself. Not with our company, but obviously we have our licenses that we cannot allow that. No one can own a license or buy any product without being above the age of 18. However, we do have a lot of clients that do come and they make use of our service, but they're not interested in trading themselves. And now I'm talking about from 50 years up above, 60 years, so on. Then they either want their children or grandchildren to learn this, obviously to better their future and education. Now, that is allowed, because if a guy comes to me, he is of age and he wants to join the company, I am going to let him sign up as a client. People only joining in now. It's fantastic. So I am going to let them sign up, and then if they want someone underage to do the training, we sign them up as a student, and they obviously need to have a letter, a permission letter from the elder person or the guardian for us to put in a file and have backup for that. Now, 6 years ago, I was still a consultant, and I signed up a guy. He was he was like in his 40s, late 40s, maybe early 50s, and he had a granddaughter that he was looking after. The parents died, so on and so on. The daughter was 14 years old. They couldn't afford to go to school. He tried. She went to like a public school, but obviously things didn't work out. And he took her out of school, and he brought her to this office every single day for about 3 months, and she just learned how to trade. He is still one of our clients, and we saw him about 4 weeks before the lockdown. They have visited their 7th country in the last 4 years or 3 years, where they're actually just touring the world. All right. So that is what small children can do. So if you have any children, start teaching them how to trade on the stock market. Okay, so anybody over the age of 18 is legally allowed to trade and invest. No one under 18 is allowed, unless you are a guardian and purchase the product on their behalf so that they can do it. Our clients need to be computer and smartphone literate. You cannot trade on the stock market with a 3310. Okay. Some of the clients, some of the consultants that I currently have on the Zoom presentation don't understand the term 3310. But for those of you who do, you cannot trade with a 3310. All right. It needs to be obviously a smartphone or a computer, a laptop. Most of the laptops do work. Anything older than, I'd say, about 15 years is probably not a good idea. And they need to be, they don't need to be an IT specialist. Okay, we've had grannies sign up here that's 75 years old that are currently, well, that were trading. First we had to teach them how to switch on a laptop, and then we taught them how to trade. But they were successful, they were trading. Obviously, I know a specific lady, she eventually said, yeah, just give it to my son. Let's carry on like that. But it can be done. They don't need to be advanced IT skills, they just need to know how to work or operate a laptop or tablet or a smartphone. Okay. And all of our clients need to have an email address. All right. All of our clients need to be able to read, write, and speak English. In order for the clients to benefit from the education, they must be able to understand the language. Now, most of our classes, 90% of our classes are only in English. That is obviously the universal language, and everybody that wants to take part obviously need to be able to speak English. We do, however, every second week have a Zulu class and a Xhosa class, because those are the other two main languages in South Africa. So they need to be able to speak, write, and read in English. You guys must take into consideration that this is a normal college. The membership is for 36 months. Our clients don't attend classes for 36 months. Most of the clients, about two to 3 months into the course, they already know what they are doing, and they can trade successfully by themselves, but they still have the full 36 months membership in order to come back and recap, or whatever the case may be, and they get still all the benefits for that 36 months. All right, and now our clients must be able to afford it. Okay, now there's certain categories. When I say afford it, we have a lot of clients that will come and invest their own money. They will put their own money into their trading accounts and then trade shares via that, make money with their own money. Then we have a lot of clients, obviously, that don't have money to invest, but they are eager to learn and they want to learn. Okay. Now we are affiliated with an external financial company for the past 12 years. A company called CTI, which I'll explain a little bit later, and they finance our clients with money to trade, and then once they start making money, they start paying back their funds. Okay, but in order for them to get finance, it works like any other loan that you want to go and get. You need to earn above the average scale of 8,000 rand or 8,000 rand and above, and obviously a credit record will be assessed. Now, it's not the end of the world if they are under debt review or whatever. We have got other options, but we will discuss that later. All right. So in basics, all of the clients, all of our clients, we don't have a certain type of client. We've got clients from every single culture out there, every single skin color. Money is money. Money doesn't have a color. All of our clients needs to be wanting to make money. They need to be money hungry, and I'm going to explain why a little bit later on how normal investments work and how the stock market actually benefits our clients. All right, now let's get to the lekker part. How we are going to pay you as a consultant. All right, now we've got two payment options currently within the Stock Market College. The one payment option number one. None of the consultants that I have recruited this year so far has taken that payment option, but both options are available. You as a consultant can choose which option. Obviously, before we sign our contracts, once we make you permanent, we're going to sign contracts, and then you need to choose which contract you're going to choose. Okay, so payment option one, we work on an OTE. For the better term of it, basic salary. Okay. There are so many people out there that are looking for basic salaries, all right? Which is it's quite sad to me, because if you want to progress in life, you don't want to get stuck at one level of income for 3 to 4 years. Now, for those of you who have already done sales in the past, every single salesperson out there knows that there are targets involved in selling. And whether you are going to sell nachos or apples or oranges or a financial service, the sale is going to be exactly the same. All right. So all of our distributors have got targets for their consultants, and our OTE works as follows. So with the on-target earning is what we call it. We need our clients, our consultants, to make a minimum of 8 sales per month. Now we've narrowed it down to 8 sales because there are obviously some restrictions at the moment with the lockdown in place. We're not able to go see clients in a physical form and recruit and so on. Before this it was 16 sales a month. Now the consultants that I have working for me, this branch alone, I've got about 95 consultants working for me. And I'll be honest, I think maybe 2 or 3 of them are on the OTE scale. Now, how this, and to be honest with all you guys, let's say about 60% of those consultants do from 10 to 15 sales a week. But we are looking now at the lockdown thing, which restricted a lot of things, so we brought it down to 8 sales. So in order for you to earn a 14,000 Rand monthly income, you need to bring me a minimum of 8 sales per month. Now, how this is going to work, let me refer to my board quickly. I'm just going to stop sharing for a second so all of you can see it the best, or at best. Okay. So in order for you to earn 14,000 at the end of the month, which is paid monthly, you need to bring me in 8 new sales for the month. Now, how this works is, usually there's 4 weeks in a month, some weeks are 5, all right? Let's say, for instance, now you do 2 sales this week. I'm going to pay you 1,000 Rand per sale for that week, which will then equal to 2,000 Rand. If you only do 1 sale in the second week, obviously, same story, you will only get 1,000 Rand. If you do, let's say, 3 sales for the third week, same story, there you'll get 3,000 Rand. If you do your
2.
Is it? Yeah, it's must not 2. If this is only on 8.
Yes.
So if you do your last 2 sales on the last week, you will get 2,000 Rand plus 14,000 Rand. Okay. Now, for every sale that you do during the course of the month, every week, the commission is paid weekly. So you will get 1,000 Rand per sale that you do during the course of the 30 days. So if you do 2 this week, you'll get 2,000 Rand. If you reach your 8th sale before the last day of the month, for that week, we are going to pay you the rest of the commission for the last sales, how many ever, whether it's 1 or 2 sales, and we will deposit the extra 14 grand into your bank account. All right. Now, all of this adds up to, what is it? 22,000 Rand. Okay, so this is what you can look at if you do a minimum of 8 sales. Now, some of the consultants do 30 sales a month or 25 sales a month. That all depends on how willing you are to do it. So let's say, for instance, you do your first 8 sales within the first 2 weeks of the month. Then obviously you're going to get your 8,000 Rand commission for the 8 sales, and that 14,000 is going to be paid within the first 2 weeks. Okay, so whatever you do after, I've had consultants which I had to pay 3 times that 14 grand during the course of the month. Okay, so if you do another 8 for the second 2 weeks, same story, you're going to get your 8,000 Rand or your 1,000 Rand per week, and if you have your 8 before the end of the month, you're going to get another 14,000 Rand. All right, yes sir.
Does it mean if you reach 8 in 1 week, then you get 14 plus 8?
Yes. So if you do 8 sales in 1 week, you're going to get 22,000 Rand a week. Okay.
It'll reset after target.
Yes.
It will reset, yeah, that's an on-target earning. So every time you've done your 8 sales, you're going to reset and you're going to start your 8 sales. So if you do your 8 sales within the first 2 weeks, you're going to get your 22. If you only do 3 sales for the remainder of the month, you're only going to get that 3,000 Rand. Okay, plus an extra 500 Rand per sale once we reach the end of the month. Let me get into that quickly. So if you get your target, you're going to get your commission per week and you're going to get your 14 grand at the end of the month. All right. Before the questions, let's say, for instance, now you do not reach your target. Let's say you do 1 this week, 2 that week, another 1 there, and another 2 there. Then you're going to get your 1,000 there, you're going to get your 2,000 there, you're going to get your 1,000 there, and you're going to get your 2,000 there. All right. Very fast car. So now we're looking at 6,000 Rand during the course of the month for the sales already done. Unfortunately, if you do not reach your 8, at the end of the month, when we hit the 30th of the month and you've only done 6 sales, I'm going to take 500 Rand times 6, which is then 3,000, and I'm going to be paying that out with the rest of your commission. Okay.
9,000.
Say again. Then it's going to be 9,000. So if you only do 6, if you don't reach your target, you're looking at 1,500 Rand per sale then. All right. It's not bad, but it's yeah. For those of you who are happy with 9,000 rand a month, that's fantastic.
No, I'm saying where we come from in terms of sales, if
Yes.
you don't make targeted, then you know that you
Yeah. I've actually
in comparison to where we come from.
Yeah. In the beginning of the lockdown, this is the third time this year I've been recruiting new people because we're looking at opening new branches. Obviously, that's been delayed now due to this fucking virus. But now, I think a week or so before the lockdown, or no, 2 weeks before, he was in the last week. Yeah, we heard he came for training on the Monday, and then the Tuesday we heard we're going on lockdown, and I couldn't train him further. But I did training. Was it in the first week or before that? I'm not exactly sure. But there was a lady from Old Mutual, and their target was 50 sales a month. And yeah, once their people, they get their money, and let's say 6 months down the line, that person cancels, then they have to pay back the money. The consultant needs to, pay back the money, which is fucking ridiculous. All right. So, however the case is, sorry, Joshua, I see you joined. Okay, so this is the OTE structure. If you make your target of 8, you will earn your basic of 22,000. If you don't make target, you can look at 1,500 rand per sale. All right. Now, that is option number 1. And please, guys, you are going to choose which option to take once we do our employment contracts. Option number 2 is just profit share. The target that I have for profit share is 0. Okay, let's get back to the screen here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So we also add on, I think it was 9 or so, but now they narrowed it down to 5. So what happens is if you, again, your 4 weeks, if you do the scale, the incentives that we have is per week, all right? So if you do 1 sale a week, I'm going to pay you 2,000 rand per sale. Okay, 1 sale a week. If you do 3 sales in the week, let's say now, in the first week, you do 1 sale, it's 2,000. If you do 2 sales, it's 2,000. Let me do it like this. One sale, 2 sales, 3 sales, 4 sales, 5 sales. So if you do 1 sale, I'm going to pay you 2,000 rand per sale. If you do your second sale, it's going to be 2,000 rand. On your third sale, this is now all the weekly incentives.
Within 1 week.
Within 1 week. If you do your third sale in the same week, I'm going to pay you 3,000 rand for your third sale, plus an extra 1,000 rand for both sales that you've done during that week, which means you're going to earn 3,000 rand per sale for the week. All right. On the 4th sale, same story. Then we start again with 3,000 rand for the 4th sale. On the 5th sale, I'm going to pay you 4,000 rand for that specific sale, and I'm going to give you an extra 1,000 rand per sale for everything else that you've done during the week. Which means that if you reach your 5th sale target, you will be earning 4 grand per sale for every sale that you did in that week. Wow. Okay. About 23 of my consultants, no, I'm lying. It's about 13. 13 of my consultants are doing over 120k a month.
That's believable.
Okay. One of a youngster that started working for me in October, November, Yakin. I didn't like that guy. He was always late for class. I could never get hold of him. And in his second month, he made 105k from the stock market college, and he's been doing over 80,000 every single month. During the lockdown was his worst month. He just cleared 65 in
his worst month.
His worst month was 65 grand. Okay. Now, not all the consultants earn this kind of money. Trust me, I do have consultants who is on the profit share option who only does 3 sales a month. That's 6 grand. If they're happy with 6,000 rand, then yeah, the pets in my house eat more than 6,000 rand, and I've got 5 kids, so there's a lot of fucking pets. Sorry for my language. Okay, so if you are happy with 6 grand, you're happy with 6 grand. If you're happy with 40 grand, you're going to be happy with 40 grand. The nice thing about the profit share, the more you work, what I've learned in sales, and I've been doing sales basically my whole life, I've never worked for a basic salary. The more you work, the more money you're going to get. Now I get consultants that start working for us. In their second month, they make like 40, 50 grand, and then they, long street, here we go. And then I don't see them for like a week. Until their money run out, and then they come back. All right. So these are the 2 payment options. You guys are going to be choosing which option you want to take before we sign our contracts, and the contracts will be signed then accordingly. Okay. The contracts are going to be in a digital form. And then everybody, obviously, I'm going to send a copy of it, and then through Adobe PDF or Adobe Acrobat, you are going to sign your contracts. All of our paperwork has been digitalized just before the lockdown, so there's no paperwork involved. Okay, Martin, yes.
Yeah, the question is it a set? Like, for instance, like the 3 months probation is gone now, right? Can you change them to the second option? Or
okay, I don't have a probation time. Okay, I don't have a 3 months. No. When it comes to sales, you either do it or you don't do it. Okay, I don't have a probation time. If you there's a lot of steps in our company. So when it comes to growth as well, we choose within the company. I won't go and advertise I need a branch manager or a team manager or whatever on Gumtree and get someone in. I will look at what I have. So currently I've got 15 team leaders. I've got 7 senior sales managers, and they control everything. So if you do your part, if you do a certain amount of sales and I can see this guy wants to go up in life, then I'm going to approach you, whether it's 2 weeks from now or 6 months from now. I am going to approach you and I'm going to tell you, listen, I want you to either be a team leader or a junior sales manager or a senior sales manager. Once you get to that point, let's say for instance now you're a team leader, I'm going to put 5 people underneath you, and you will be earning your own commission plus 500 rand extra per sale that all of your consultants do.
Wow.
And that will basically go up. So if you're a junior sales manager, then you will get 1,000 rand. You will get 3 team leaders. That means there's 15 consultants, and you will get 1,000 rand per sale that everybody underneath you does. Okay. If you're a sales manager, a senior sales manager, you get 2,500 rand per sale that your team does. Okay. So now you're looking at about 30 people working underneath you, and you don't have to go and see clients anymore. It's just you just manage people. So yeah, I don't have a probation period. If you do sales, you do sales. If you don't want to do sales, you're not going to do sales. All right. I want people to look at it this way: whether you're selling oranges or financial markets, it's exactly the same approach to clients. You've got your product. You need to get your knowledge regarding your product. So if a client's going to ask you where does these oranges come from, you're going to say, it's some boer there in the Vrystaat. He's using some pig poop and chicken seeds and planting them somewhere, and that's what gives this orange its taste. So you're going to have to give him this description of the orange and then make him want it. Same with financial markets. If you know what you're saying, that all the clients want to know is why, how. If you know that, whether you're selling oranges or the financial markets, the sales stays exactly the same. It's one product that you're selling to another product. It's just going to be the description. All right, now, when it comes to the financial markets, I want everybody to realize one thing quickly. Black, white, pink, fat, skinny, male, female, we're all the same. A lot of the consultants are afraid to approach people in ties. I've signed up people in the government who earns fucking how many
dollars,
millions a month, and they get like 10 million bonus every 6 months, whatever the case may be, that we've signed up. And then you get another consultant that as soon as they sit in front of someone in corporate level, then they will start getting scared because this person looks smarter. He dresses smarter. He came from exactly the same place as you. Not exactly, but we all come from our mothers. They were children, they grew up. Yes, some people are a bit more clever than other people, but we all want the same thing. We all want success. I have signed up successful people to become even more successful. Okay, and we'll get later into my story of why I am proof why this company works. And 10 years ago, I also sat where you sat as a sales consultant, and I thought to myself, "Kak man, it's not going to work." All right, so we'll get into that a little bit later. Every single person out there wants to make money, and if you are going to show them how to do it, they are going to do it. And if they make money, that means you are going to make money. All right. We'll get into all the levels of making money. The two options of the salary is on there. We are going to discuss that. We're going to have another meeting before the contracts are signed so that we can go through the contracts and you all can do your questions and so on and so on. All right, let's get back to...
So what you're saying is, say for instance, I want to be on option 1.
Yeah.
And you see after
Oh yeah, you asked me about the changing. All right.
Yeah, to change yours.
Okay, so
you will connect with us and listen here. I think there's a bigger playing field for you, and I see you make it. So why don't you change to that?
Okay, if you choose option 1 and you decide you want to go to option 2, because obviously a lot of people choose option 1 in order to take the 8 sales. We have to look at it. If you make the 8 sales in a month, then it's 22 grand. If you do 8 sales in a month, in a week, let's say the 5 sales in a week, it's 20 grand a week. If you only do 3 sales a week, that's 3, 6, it's 12 sales a month, that's 9 grand a week, that's 36,000 a month. Okay, so compare it to that. But if you are on payment option number 1, and in your first or second or third week you see, okay, but now I'm starting to get lekker. Yeah, and then you just come to me, you say, listen, I want to go to payment option 2. It's going to take me 24 hours to get all the paperwork through to head office, but it's possible.
Okay.
But then you cannot change back again. Okay. Most of the consultants, I'll be honest guys, I have a lot of consultants that do start on payment option 1 because I don't know for what reason, they feel safe. You still have to do your 8 sales.
Yeah.
And then they go to payment option 2. There's a lot of people that, to be honest with you, out of over the 90 consultants I have, and this is now between this branch and the Botswana branch, I think I've got 3 people maybe that's on that option.
Yeah.
But they're just office based. They don't even go out to see clients. They just work on social media and whatever. And these are people that's been working for me for like 2 to 3 years. They like the way they do it. They're happy with the salaries that they get. So that doesn't bother me. But the more obviously, the more you put in, the more you will get out. Okay. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to ask a question? You can just either raise your hand or give me the button. Lungi, speak, my dear.
Yes. Hi, Francois. I just wanted to recap again on the payment 1 structure. So if you hit 8 sales before the end of the month, you restart again, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you hit 8 sales,
Okay.
you hit your eighth sale in week number 3, then you will get paid out your 14 grand for the 8 sales, and then basically you reset for the month. So then on the 30th, let's say you only do 3 sales, then on the 30th of that month, or before the 30th of that month, the first of the next month, it's going to restart for the next 8 sales.
Okay. Now I get you.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Next question. H&E, I don't have a name yet. Yeah?
Sorry Frans, my naam is Henning.
Yes, Henning.
Yes, ek wil net gou by jou hoor. Ek is oorspronklik ook van Namibië af. En die maatskappy wat jy daar so het, waar is dit gebaseer? Is dit in Windhoek of in Swakopmund of in Walvisbaai?
Ek sal vir Roan moet vra presies waar is hy. Roan is heiliglik in Suid-Afrika, maar ek sal vir Roan vra. Ek dink amper hulle is, dis nie die een by die see nie, wat is die binneland een, Swakopmund?
Nee, ja, ek is oorspronklik van Swakop af. So dit is langs die see. Walvisbaai is ook langs die see. Windhoek is ons hoofstad.
Ek dink amper is in Windhoek, want ek weet hy het vir my gesê dis nie naby die see nie.
Ja, so
Okay, ja, en dan moet dit
Ek
Windhoek
het nooit
wees.
self by daai tak gewees nie, Henning, maar ek sal 'n bietjie vir Roan vra waar presies is hulle. Ek weet hy het in die lockdown het hy nog hiernatoe gekom en hy kon nog nie weer teruggaan daai kant toe nie. So net sy konsultante opper uit daai kant. Bly hy heidaglik in Windhoek? Ag in Namibië?
Nee, ek is op die oomblik is ek nou hierso in die Kaap nog. Ek is getroud nou hierso, bly nou huidiglik hier, maar ek is baie heen en weer.
Okay.
So dis ek ja, ek oorweeg miskien om weer terug te gaan na Namibië toe. Maar ja, so as ek bietjie meer inligting kan kry oor wie en wat daar aangaan en
Okay.
dan sal ek dit miskien wil doen weer.
Okay, nee, dis reg. Wat ek sal doen is ek sal met Roan in kontak kom. Kyk, al die goeders wat jy nou basies doen, ek maak saak wat se tak jy dit doen. Jy kan ons nou online doen, maar vir ons kliënte en goeders wat dan nou fisies in klasse en goeders wil sit na die lockdown, sal dit nou jou voordeel wees. Maar dis reg, ons sal in kontak bly na die training en dan sal ek jou met Roan opset en dan kan ons kyk. Jy moet maar net vir my 'n môre lesse indikasie gee van wanneer jy wil teruggaan daai kant toe dat ek kan seker maak by hom hy is dan ook daar.
Ja, is hy baie vinnig van nou af hier. So
Ja.
ek kan maar nou eers nog soos hierso bly. Ja, ja.
Nee, dis great stuff. Daar's 'n fout in.
Baie dankie.
All right. Okay, so for the rest of the people, he just inquired about the Namibian branch. He is originally from Namibia. All right. Can I get more questions regarding the payment options? Are there anybody else? Let me just go through my list. If you have a question, I want you to use. Where is my? I want you to use that one. I can't find it now on my side. Yes, Martin.
You can also get people from overseas. Your friends that are living overseas, like
Yeah.
New Zealand, Australia, wherever.
Yes, wherever. Quick Trade is international. So we can open an account anywhere. We are licensed for ZAR and we are licensed for USD. At the moment, whether you are, it doesn't matter in which country you are living, you will open a USD account. So if it's the Zimbabwean Pula or whether it's the Zambian Kwacha, you're going to open yourself a USD account. But anybody can sign up, anybody, anywhere on the planet. Obviously, they need to have internet. Yeah, preferably. All right. So if I don't have any more questions, we are going to scroll down here and see. Okay, it's very important to me that you guys do ask questions because I'm not always sure if I cover everything in the training. Obviously, at the end of the training, you guys will start thinking about stuff, so tomorrow will be a good time to ask most of the questions. But if something does bother you or something you need to know immediately, don't feel afraid to interrupt me and ask me those questions so that we can be clear. Okay. So what we're going to do quickly is we are going to take a quick break. I'd say about 20 minutes break. I need something to drink, and you guys can either stay on or you can log off and log back on just before the time comes. I'm just going to discuss the presentation with you guys, and then we're going to discuss most of the stuff about the presentation and how the company actually operates and why we sign up our clients. Then I'm going to let you guys watch a presentation from our MD, Hardus van Pletchen, the guy who owns both Quick Trade and Stock Market College, so that you guys can see how he did it. On the presentation, I will obviously on the group share some presentations of myself that I did during the lockdown. I've got English and Afrikaans presentations that I did upload and that I will post. So for now, everybody can take a break quickly. I am going to come back online at 10 to 12. So please just be back on. If I'm not here in time to it, you will see that once you join in again, you will be waiting in a wait room. Just be patient while you are waiting there. I will admit everybody again at 10 to 12. All right. I will see you guys just now. Okay. All right, before we start, am I unmuted? Yeah. Before we start, are there any questions from anybody? So if we are all good, you can just give me the thumbs up icon. Okay. All right. So what we basically do for our clients, when we get our clients, we obviously approach a wide variety of clients. To be honest, that most of our clients that we get do come from referrals from current clients. We do, however, use our social media platforms at this time a lot in order to get new clients. But I'm going to show you guys later during the presentation exactly how things work, how we get our clients. Now, at the time, we used to get our clients from, a lot of our clients from larger financial institutions. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about a lot of banks. We actually got existing contract with Capitec that supplies us with a lot of clients. Obviously, due to the lockdown and the corona thing, we haven't been able to get as much as we used to due to the fall in basically everything. But the clients that we usually get from larger institutions are clients that either do not qualify to invest large amounts of money at other companies. Let's say, for instance, if you want to go to a company like Global FX and you want to invest, they start you off with a minimum of 150,000 over a period of 3 to 5 years. And obviously, there's a lot of our clients that start with us that don't have that kind of money available to just to start trading or to invest. And they also don't want to make use of companies like Old Mutual or Sanlam or their banks and get the shit interest rates that they are currently getting or will get. Now, we take the in-between people. We basically take the people who doesn't qualify for large and also don't want to set for the small interest rates from their current investing companies or other investing companies out there. All right, so what we do for our clients, what we do is when we eventually approach a client, there is a presentation that we deliver to every single client. So this is, for those of you who don't know what a presentation is basically you speaking to the client, explaining everything that that happens within our company, what we are all about, the ins and outs of the company, and explaining to the client why our company is one of the better ones to invest in or to help you invest, and obviously all the benefits of the company, what people can get, and so on and so on. Now, this presentation structure is just 10 easy steps. And even though it's 10 easy steps, a presentation can take you anything from half an hour to an hour and a half, depending on what the client wants, what is the client's needs. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people out there that don't know anything about the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. I have had a lady on Facebook during the lockdown that was in an argument with me. I don't do an argument over Facebook. She asked me what, she told me, she made one statement and I made one statement back, and I gave her my number and I said, please WhatsApp me or call me if you have any other questions. I don't do this whole Facebook war thing. Now, the JSE is a well-established platform since the 1887, where people have invested for over 100 years. And then she told me on Facebook that the JSE is a scam. the JSE itself is a scam. Yeah, that's why they put all the fucking indicators on the evening news, you know, to tell everybody this. It's a scam. Okay, so she didn't have the knowledge regarding this. Luckily, I have a lot of clients also on my Facebook, and some people from other investment companies or that back me. They took the conversation to the next level on Facebook. I just read all the comments. I never participated in the rest of the conversation. But yeah, they brought out statistics, and you know, for me it was just a waste of time trying to explain to someone what the JSE is. It's the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, located in the richest mile of South Africa, in Sandton. All right, so obviously there's a lot of people that don't know anything about the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, or they've heard of it, or they've seen it, but never took part of it. So this presentation is basically a breakdown of what the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is all about, and how our company is affiliated with the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and what our company can benefit, what the clients can benefit from our company by trading shares on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. All right. Like I say, even though it's a 10-step presentation, the presentation can take anything from half an hour to an hour and a half. I have had clients where I had to sit at least 3 to 4 hours doing a presentation. This all depends obviously on how many questions they have. Now, once we actually go to a client, it doesn't matter who you are going to now represent a financial company, and you're going to try and teach this person everything you can about the financial world that they don't know. So it's very important to obviously know what you're talking about and have that confidence. You can't walk into a presentation, and I'm talking only about, I'm talking about, well, whether it's over Zoom or physical presentation, you can't walk in or go online and say, you know, hello, how are you? My name is Francois, and I'm going to show you now how the JSE works. Yeah, there's no excitement because you keep talking like this, like fucking dog died before the Zoom presentation. Okay, you can't work like this, and it doesn't matter what you sell. When you're a salesperson, confidence is key. Now, I'm not saying be windgat or harregat or you know. I know a lot of salespeople, and I've got many consultants that work for me that think a lot about themselves. But those are, you know, consultants that make from 60 to 80,000 rand a month. So obviously they can think a lot of themselves. When you do a presentation, it's obviously it's very important to know what you're talking about. Be prepared. There is a lot of questions out there. I mean, I was a consultant for the first 4 years that I worked for this company before they made branches available to consultants, and even till today, there's still a lot of new things that I learn. And I mean, I've got vast knowledge regarding not only our company but the Johannesburg Stock Exchange as well. But if I have to put it into perspective, for instance, if you see this whole board as the JSE, let's say this whole board is the stock market or the financial market, that's my knowledge. So there's still a lot that I can still, you know, learn, or that I need to learn. Things change every day, but the basics are important. Once it comes to the people joining the classes and learning about the stock market, obviously we've got mentors and stockbrokers that do these classes that even knows a lot more than I do regarding the stock market to answer these questions. So when you do a presentation, the one most important thing is do not lie. Yeah. Salespeople tend to lie to do the business. Now, this is one of the only things that are different between a normal sales company and our sales department. You cannot lie, because that person is going to invest basically the rest of his life and maybe possibly a large amount of his either savings or his financial situation. If you promised him something that you know for a fact you're not going to be able to deliver, it's going to become my problem. Okay, so never lie to a person, never suck anything out of your thumb. When it comes to the financial markets and any financial sector, it's very important to know what you're talking about, and don't be afraid if a client does ask you a question and you don't know the answer, just say, you know what, I am not sure. Can I phone my senior or team leader or whatever the case may be? Get them on the line. Give me a call. I'll phone you back. Put me on speaker, and we will speak to the client and share the information that they obviously need. So yeah, please do not lie. The presentation. The presentation that we've created now. This presentation is a combination of many years of struggles and success. Obviously, this wasn't the first presentation we started with 20 years ago. So it has broken down. We've added and we've taken things out and so on. But this presentation is basically the closest thing that we have, to our knowledge, gotten to explaining every single angle of the JSE and our company that the client needs to know in order for them to make an informed decision on joining the company or not. So for many years there was trial and error, and there's a lot of the times where our presentations came from head office, and if I just sit and read through the whole thing, it's going to take me like 2.5 hours. And that people get bored. People don't. For instance, if someone wants to do a presentation with me, after 20 minutes, if they don't get to the point, they've lost me. Yeah. So within the presentation, by step number 4, which should be about 15 minutes into your presentation, that's where you're going to get the client's hook. And we've worked it out more or less that is where the clients are going to start thinking, you know what, fuck, I am in a shit situation. Let me listen to the rest of this presentation and then see how this can benefit me. Now, okay, so any presentation is going to start with the next. It's building rapport. Now, a lot of people don't know what building rapport is. The best way that I can describe it is to build a relationship with your client. Let me stop sharing for a second. To build a relationship with your client does not mean ask them out to dinner and then, do the nasty after the presentation. Building a relationship with your client is building trust. If you walk into a client's house or you do a Zoom presentation with a D12 hoodie and you've got a cap on and your sunglasses, they're not going to listen to you. They're going to be like, what's this white rapper doing? But obviously, if you look the part, first of all, people are going to see, okay, it looks decent. So now already, once they allow you to start talking to them, okay, things are going to go good. When we do presentations over Zoom, obviously the interaction with the clients are a little bit different than what we do it in physical form. But the guys tend to hit on the ladies. Don't tell them they got like nice this and this and something like that. Or keep it professional. Some of my ladies consultants say, but it works for them to do it with the men. But however the case may be, I'm not listed for a sexual harassment assault case. Okay, so building a rapport. How a normal presentation basically works is like this. There's 3 sections in a presentation. Now, all 10 of these presentations in the structure will be based on these 3 things. 30% of your presentation is going to go of building a relationship. All right? Get to know the people. Let them get to know you. One thing that I have realized in my many years of sales are that people like to talk about themselves. Yes. Allow them to talk about themselves. Ask a question, and if they keep talking, just divert the conversation the whole time so that they can keep talking to the point where you get to the point where, but okay, but I want to make money and I'm trying to be successful. You all understand once you get into that. Yeah. Let them keep talking about themselves. Do not overpower the conversation, but also don't let them overpower you. All right. So 30% is going to be to build trust. But first, people need to trust other people in order to share information with them. I have had clients which I've signed up before, which the only answers I got from them was yes and no. The only conversation that I got from them was them answering me yes or no. Nothing else. They didn't talk. They don't want to give me personal information. They didn't want to say anything. But they liked the presentation, so they signed up anyway. But that happens maybe with 0.5% of the people that I've signed up. So you'll get these hard asses. 30% of your presentation is going to be creating a need. Creating a need. Now, creating a need is going to go around, why should this person be interested in your product, be interested in your company? So now you're going to create a need. And when I'm doing the presentation later on, I'll tell you which section is going to be which section. So creating a need, you need to paint this beautiful picture, especially with our company in the financial sector. You have to paint this beautiful picture for a client. First of all, you're going to ask him about his current finances, his current situation, how things are going now, how is he experiencing life. And then you're going to show him what can happen. You're going to paint this picture, you're going to build him, sky castles, and you're going to ask him what kind of car he wants, build the dreams and goals that these people have. Because everybody's got dreams and goals. Everybody wants to go forward in life and own a house and own a nice car and buy something off the shelf of a shop without looking at the price, that kind of things, all right? So then you paint this nice picture of what is possible in life. And then you break everything fucking down again. And then you say, okay, but you don't have any of this shit, so what now? Okay, so that is going to be in the creating a need section. You're going to explain to the client that what we are doing at the Stock Market College and the product that we have is something that they are going to need. All right. And then the other 40%, the last 40% of your presentation is going to be to give him the solution. The solution to all the problems that you've just created in the second section. All right. And that is by explaining what our company does and how they can benefit and find the solution to their financial problems within our company. All right, so let's get back to the presentation. So those are the 3 steps. All 10 of the presentation steps is basically included in those 3 steps. So building a rapport, getting to know your client, and explaining a little bit about yourself, explaining a little bit about the company. The 4 questions, this is now something that I got from head office. I would actually switch around number 2 and number 3. The overview of SMC, quick trade, and affiliate. So I would first build a rapport with the client. Then I will explain to the client, what we are about, what our company does. We teach people. We've got a stockbroking firm that helps people, that plays like a little man for the JSE, and so on. Then we've got 4 questions that we usually ask the clients. I'm going to show you guys that now in the presentation that Ardis does. The 4 questions is basically getting a little bit personal with the client. Now, being a consultant, if you have to go and sit in front of a person, and one of the questions that you're going to need to ask the person is, okay, so how much money you got in your bank account? That's literally one of the questions that you're going to have to ask the client. But you're not going to approach the client and say, how much money you got in your bank account? Okay, that's not the way you're going to do it. So for instance, let's just do an example of how we are going to do this. Let's say now I get to my client. I will then say, okay, take a different color. I will make like a little section here. Three sections. I hope that, no, the rest of the people they can't see. So first of all, what I will do, for instance, is I will, this way. I will then tell the client, okay, you know what? I'm going to look at a little bit of info regarding your current financial situation. Then I'm going to move to your current banks and policies that you own and so on and what. And then I'm going to show you the trading signals. So this is only one part of the 4 questions. You will see that in the presentation that Ardis does this more or less the same in this sense, but this is not part of. This is only one section of the 4 questions. So basically, when you get to the client's info, I will, for instance, let's use Nicholas as a. I'm going to use you as a client quickly. Lie your ass off. Okay, you can just give me any names and numbers and whatever. So Nicholas, you've obviously everybody's got a bank account, all right? You've got a bank account, Nicholas. By what bank are you banking?
Absa Bank.
I am banking. You're banking at Absa Bank, all right? Have you got a savings or a check account?
Check account.
You've got a check account. Is that the only one you got, or do you have a savings account as well?
Also a savings account.
Also got a savings account. All right. Do you have any other bank accounts at any other bank?
No.
All right. A lot of the people, you can ask that question. A lot of people, I've got 3 different bank accounts. A lot of people do actually have 2 different bank accounts by 2 different banks. All right. For instance, F&B is my business account, and all my trading funds goes into Capitec account. All right. So now, yes, okay. So I can see that you are currently at Absa. You've got a check account. You've got a savings account. More or less, what is the amount in your check account?
Roughly 12,000 rand.
Roughly 12,000 rand. And in your savings?
A total of 20,000 rand.
A total of 20,000 rand. All right. So without actually asking the client directly how much money you got, you just put it into your presentation. Sometimes when you see the client is a little bit sketchy, then you are going to tell them beforehand, you know what? In order for me to do this presentation, I need to get a little bit personal about your finance, because I want to show you in this what situation you are currently in and what situation you can be. Okay. Some of the other questions that I will also ask is that do you have a credit card for Absa?
Yes.
Okay, so he's got a credit card as well. What is your limit on your credit card?
15,000 rand.
15,000 rand. Do you have any life insurance or policies?
Yes, I do.
By which company?
Discovery.
So he's got Discovery. Is it a life policy, annuity, a funeral plan? What is it?
Just a funeral plan.
Funeral plan. And how much do you pay them per month?
1,500 rand.
1,500 rand. So that's going to give you 18,000 rand a year. Okay. I'm just going to make a little note. It's going to be 18,000 rand a year. All right. That's all I need to know now. Sometimes if we see that people's got houses, we will ask if you've got bonds in your houses. Is it an access bond? Is it a normal bond? Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of questions that we can ask the people in order for us to find out what their financial situation is. Now, why do we do this?
Get an idea of person.
Yes. I want to get an idea of which category this client is going to fall into once he decides to actually become a client. Okay, so obviously if Nicholas told me I've got 900 rand in that bank account, I've got 700 rand in that bank account, I only have a savings account, or I don't even have a credit card. One of the things that I do ask, he said now he does have a credit card. If he said, for instance, he does not have a credit card, I will ask him, why? Are you not interested or are you blacklisted?
Yeah.
Because there's only 2 reasons why you would not get a credit card. It's because you're either not interested or he's blacklisted. Okay. If he is blacklisted, now I already know that I'm going to give him the financing option, or he's going to pay for everything cash out of the funds that he currently has. Okay. This is to see that what is available in his current status, financial status, in order for me, when I get to the closing part of my presentation, then I'm going to tell him, okay, that's going to cost you so much, your fees are so much, so on, and whatever. You've got this amount available. You can either pay it cash, or I can give you the financing option. Okay, if he's blacklisted, I'm only going to go for the cash one or a rental option, which I will explain a bit later. Okay, so the second one is going to be banks and policies. Now I need to go back to my computer for this one. So that's one of the, So that's one of the things. Let's somewhat go through the banks and policies and everything. So you're going to give him the overview of the company, what we do. We teach people how to make money, blah blah blah. Why do we teach people how to make money on the stock market? That guy sounds like he's driving. Don't zoom and drive, dude. All right. So let's say, for instance, now, why do we invest in directly in the stock market and not in banks or investment companies? Let me just get this little book. This is a book that I obviously give to my consultants once they start coming to the office. We used to use this training last week. I'm going to take a picture quickly, and I'm going to put it on the group so that everybody can see. What this basically is the interest rates for 2019 from most of the investment companies and banks. Change the group name again. Okay, so I've put it on the group now. So basically what that is, I'll just show it like this. This is the statistics for every single company. This was taken in February 2019. Now, the most places where we go where our clients go to invest money is either to their banks directly, to have like fixed deposit accounts, or they can go to Old Mutual or Sanlam and do like a little investment there. The only thing that people do not realize is that they are being screwed every single day. Let's use a company, for instance, let's use Absa. It was Absa, no? Yeah. So Nicholas said, okay, he's at Absa. So now I want to show Nicholas, let's say for instance you had to take 5,000 Rand. And on the group you'll see that Absa over a period of 6 months is 5.85%. And over a period of 3 years it's 7.75%. All right. 5 years, I know that it also goes back to I think 5 point something percent. But let's use 6%. And if anybody can get me any company out there except for African Bank that can give that gives people more than 10% normal investing percentage interest per annum we all understand is per year, then please send it to me. The only companies that give more than 10% is when you want to be a high risk investor, where you sign a contract for high risk, and then you can get Liberty Life, for instance. Their high risk profile investment is 11.25%. So then you got a guaranteed 11.25% per annum, which you will get on top of your money. Now, let me explain quickly. Most of these companies that we use on a daily basis is between 4 and 10% per annum. Now I'm going to share my screen quickly. So let's say for instance now I've got Absa, and Absa says to me, okay, they're going to give me 6% per annum interest on top of my money. All right. That is compound interest. Now what compound interest means is that they give you interest upon interest. So if you have an amount that you want to invest, they're going to take that amount over the first year. They're going to gain interest over the first year. They're going to take the money made from that interest, put it on top of the amount initially invested, and reinvest it the second year. Okay, I know it's a mouthful, but it's interest upon interest. So basically what that means is, in year number 1, if we started out with, let's say, let's just take it 5,000 Rand. We start year number 1, we go to Absa, we invest over a period of 5 years. Let's use 5 years. That means the 5,000 Rand that they're going to use to invest for you, those of you who have got calculators available, you can just use them. So what happens is the formula that you're going to use is you're going to take the amount, which is 5,000 Rand, you're going to times 6%. Now with the 5,000 Rand after the first year, it's going to be 5,300 Rand that you will have gained at the end of year number 1. That means a 300 Rand profit. Okay, fantastic. So now we're going to take the 5,300 Rand. We are going to go into year number 2, which means it's going to give you 318 Rand profit on top of the 5,300. So now we're standing at a whopping 5,618 Rand.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Year number 3, we're going to take 5,618. We're going to, we're going to add 6%, which is going to give us 337 plus 5618, 5,955 Rand and some cents, 8 cents. I'm not going to put the cents in. Year number 4, we're going to take 5,955 Rand. We're going to add 6%, which is then 357, which gives you a total of 6,312 Rand. Year number 5, I'm going to take my 6,312, put another 6% with, and it's going to give me 378.6312, 6,690, 6,690.72. Let's make it 91. All right. So over a period of 5 years, you have invested 5,000 Rand at 6% per annum interest. At the end of the 5 years, if you take the 5,000 Rand back that you already invested, that leaves you with 1,691 Rand profit that you made over a period of 5 years. Okay.
And you break it down to 60 months, it is 28 and 16 cents that you're going to earn.
Exactly. Martin is one step ahead of us. So now what happens is a lot of people think, 6%, you know, I didn't do anything. I gave my money to a bank and they did the rest. 1,691 profit. But now what I tell my clients is, and it doesn't matter if it's 5,000, 50,000 or 500,000, I'm going to show you guys what it gets up to anyway. So how many months are there in 5 years? There's 60 months, so you divide it by 60 months, and you will get 28 Rand and 16 cents per month that you are currently earning through that massive investment through ABSA.
Nice.
Okay. Nicholas is very excited. He's going to take his money now to ABSA, and he's going to take his 20,000 savings. Give it to ABSA. But now there's how many days in a month? There's 30 days in a month. So I want to take 28 Rand, 0.16, and I want to divide it by 30. And I want to say, right, 28.16 divided by 30 is going to give me a whopping 93 cents a day. So now what I will do is I will tell the client, okay, you know what? Rather give me that 5,000 Rand. I will then return to your house every day and I'll give you 93 cents. And usually when I went to go speak to clients in person, I will take a 2 Rand out of my wallet and I will put it in front of them and I will say, I just doubled your money. For your investment. Okay, so if we look at it into perspective, let's say for instance that was now 50,000 Rand. We're just going to add another 0 there, so then it's 9.30. If it was 500,000 Rand, we can add 2 zeros, then it's 93 Rand. So with 500 Rand, I would still tell the client, give me your 500,000 Rand. I will then bring you 100 Rand. Which is still more every day, 100 Rand. Okay, so let me take a picture of this. I'm going to post it on the group. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't get you very well. How did you calculate the profit?
Say again?
How did you calculate the profit?
Okay, so how you calculate the profit? It's compound interest. So you're going to take the amount that you invested. In order for us to calculate the profit, this is the formula. You take the amount that the person invested, you times it, multiply it by the percentage that they give, and equals. So you're going to take 5,000 Rand times that percent equals. So now if we took 5,000 Rand, it's 5,300 Rand after the year, after the first year. Now you're going to take this whole amount, 5,300 Rand, for the second year, and you're going to multiply it again by 6%, which will then give you 5,300 and whatever.
5618.
Yeah, 5618. Okay, so that is the formula. The formula is you're going to take the amount. Let me someone put it in here. The amount multiply the percentage will give you profits. And if you don't have the percentage on your phone, then you can just say the amount times 0.0, whatever the amount is. If it's 6%, it's 0.06, or if it's 10%, it's 0.10. Okay, that is how you're going to calculate it. Let me just let me add that back in. All right, so this is compound interest. This is what all the banks give us. Now, I would like, can you just pass it there to Nicholas? What I am handing Nicholas now is what I am handing Nicholas now is last year. Okay, this is just a copy that I made from the Johannesburg Stock Exchange handbook. Now, what this book basically does, they have to release this book every quarter. So every 4 months, this book comes out. You'll see that this is 2019, issue number 2. So every quarter, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange needs to release the financial statistics of every single company listed on the JSE for every quarter. All right. So now on the first page is ABSA, and on ABSA's page is the last 5 years financial statistics. This means that the share prices of ABSA itself is now on here. So if I want to show now, I want to show Nicholas that if he had to take that money and invest it directly on the JSE by buying ABSA shares, what would his amount would have, what his amount would have been? So instead of giving the money to ABSA, take the money, go to the JSE and buy shares in ABSA. All right. But now that will be all the statistics. So all there's a price high and a price low, and that will be the minimum amount, and blah blah blah. I'm not going to get into this quickly. What I want to do is I want to ask Nicholas quickly. You'll see that on the page, on the right hand side of the page, there's a little graph with little lines that go up and down. That is obviously the movement. On top of the graph, it says the liquidity. You see that? Okay. So what that basically does is every 4 months, they give you an average liquidity of shares bought for how much, and the percentage per annum profits that they made from that specific quarter. So here it says March 19, this was March 2019, the statistics were taken. An average of 17 million shares per week were bought and sold, with an average profit of 2.8 billion, that's 2,890.5 million rand. And then I want, Nicholas, there's a percentage in brackets per annum. Can you say it louder so the people on the screen can hear you?
102.3% per annum.
Okay, so for those of you who didn't hear, 102.3% average per annum over a quarterly period. That means that this was in March 2019, March, January and December.
Yeah.
That was the 4 months before their financial year end. Just mute someone, yeah?
What's wrong?
All right, so that means that over 4 months, just in that 4 months, they made an average of a yearly lookout. If they had to predict over the year, 102.3% profit that they made on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange with their share price movement. Okay.
With your money.
With your money. So everybody that invested with ABSA, that got a whopping 6 to about 10% over a period of 1 year interest, were basically screwed over. Now, let's say now you go to the bank, you invest 5 grand over a period of 5 years. They say, okay, I'm going to give you 6% interest. Where do they get the 6% interest? Now on the screen you will see there's a guy in front of the bank and he planted something and he's putting some water on it.
Yeah.
And now there's a tree of money growing. I guarantee you that that's not the situation. They don't go and plant your money and put water and then it grows.
Yeah.
Where does the bank get the 6% extra that they can give you?
Isn't it from inflation?
Nope.
Isn't it from your money?
From your money.
What do they do with your money?
They invest your money.
They trade with it. Like, that's how bank works. They trade your money.
Yeah.
They trade.
They get loan bonds.
Exactly. So, let's move to the next slide. Let's say now this guy here, Nicholas. That's Nicholas there. He looks almost the same. So Nicholas went to Absa and he said to Absa, listen, I'm going to give you 5 grand. Please invest it for me. So the first person that approaches him is the financial advisor. She says, okay, Nicholas, you know what? The current state of the country, we can only guarantee you 6% per annum of your investment. You have to sign a contract with us for a fixed period of either 3 or 5 years. Meaning that Nicholas can't touch any of that fucking money within the period of 3 to 5 years. If he should do so, he has to either give them 32-day notice, or if he wants it immediately, he's going to pay penalty fees. And I'm not sure about Absa, but FNB, if I had to go and, I don't have any investments with them, but if they had to, it's 32% of whatever you withdraw. Okay, so that's ridiculous. But anyway, so this nice lady, the financial advisor, will come to Nicholas. She will say, okay, I'm going to give you 6% per annum on top of your money. Nicholas says, it's great. He signs his contract, gives him the money, and he disappears. But nobody knows what happens behind the scenes. So the next person that handles your money, so that financial advisor goes to a guy called the financial manager. He's usually the financial manager or the branch manager of that bank. And he will then say, okay, thank you, ma'am. We're going to create a file quickly, put Nicholas' details in there, copies of his contracts and blah, blah, blah. And they are going to approach a larger investing company. For instance, Coronation, Alexander Forbes, Alan Gray, Sanlam Old Mutual, whatever the case may be. That financial manager will then get in contact with that that bigger financial institution's asset manager. The asset manager will then go to, let me just admit these people, I see that they go off and on again. So the asset manager and the financial manager is now going to talk. The financial manager is going to say, listen, I've got this file here of Nicholas. He gave us 5 grand. He wants to invest his money. We gave him 6%. So the asset manager will go and see, okay, this was the statistics and blah, blah, blah. You know what? We will give you
3 documents that your, so once you click on the one document, it will paste the signature, and then you click next, and then it will take you to the next document.
Okay, so someone's not paying attention. All right, so the asset manager will then go and look at how things are currently standing. He will tell the bank manager or the financial manager, okay, you know what? We will give you 11% on that investment. So now the bank will get 5% of that 11, and the 6% they will give to Nicholas. The asset manager then gives the file to a guy called the portfolio manager. The portfolio manager creates you a portfolio that is linked with the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. He then hands that file over to the stockbroker. The stockbroker takes your money, invests it on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and they make 102.3% every quarter with your money.
Wow.
Why don't they give it to you? They don't give it. You're 100% correct. They don't give it to you. But now my question is why?
Because you signed for 6%.
Exactly, and they need to also make profit through that business.
Okay, let's say for instance now you didn't sign, you wanted more. Obviously, there's going to be some ruffling or whatever. But the reason why is because the guy who's currently the last person to handle your money is a guy called the stockbroker, and he's most probably the guy that drives a Maserati. And out of that 102%, so once they have to pay out the money to whoever, they're going to take that portfolio. Okay, over the last 5 years, we've made so much with this money. My percentage is X amount.
Yeah.
Probably the installment of the Maserati and the 17-bedroom house that is staying in somewhere in Clifton. He will then give the money back to the portfolio manager. The portfolio manager, who probably drives the latest E-Class, will then take the money and he will take his installment for his E-Class. He will hand back the money to the asset manager, probably drives a BMW, and he will then take his installment for the BMW. They will hand it back to the financial manager at the bank, who needs to pay his fortuner. Financial manager gives it back to the financial advisor, who drives the latest Polo Vivo, and then they will pay it back into the bank, which is owned by Nicholas, who's struggling to pay his Conquest. And that is unfortunately how the structure of people's money works. For those of you who obviously are in Cape Town, there is a building right across from our office called the Sanlam Centre. We've all seen that building. And then there's a building in Pinelands called Old Mutual. I don't know who's seen the building in Pinelands. Now, I don't classify that building in Pinelands as a building, it's a street. And then obviously if you look at the Sanlam building across the road from us, how many levels are there? How big is that building? Where do the people get the money to build buildings like that and be able to afford all the people that's working there for them?
Right.
It's because they are making between 90 to 110% profits every 4 months with their clients' money. Okay, so that is the route that your money will be going to once you are investing with an institution. If you had to take your money, let's say now, this is Nicholas again. Nicholas approached the stock market college. The stock market college is going to teach Nicholas everything that stockbroker knows. The last guy who owns the Maserati. We are going to teach Nicholas everything that stockbroker knows. Nicholas is going to download the app MetaTrader 5. He's going to deposit his money into a portfolio that we created for him through Quick Trade. He's going to take his money, trade directly on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and only pay 0.5% commission for our brokerage of whatever he puts in and whatever he takes out. Cutting out 2, 3, 4 people.
So quickly, Francis, sorry to disturb it. So where do you get, how do you guys, the company, get the leverage to become that middleman, so to speak?
You have to get your licenses. You have to,
Right.
Obviously it's like any other business. You have to register a business, prove that you can do it, and then you get the necessary licenses. Even though we are 18 years old, the company Stock Market College, we've only been legally registered through Bank CETA, I think, maybe 9 years ago, and we only legally got our brokerage license in 2014. Yeah, so there's a lot of steps, a lot of hard work that went into it.
Yeah.
But we are now one of 2 companies on the African continent actually legally registered to do what we do. To teach people, and that you can go and do your statistics, you can go do your research. You won't find another company in South Africa that our biggest competition at this moment is a company called Investors Choice, which also have a campus, but they are not registered. So they just pay fines. Okay. So that is why we encourage the people to invest directly on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Now, I'm just going to, let's scroll down here quickly to the bank. I've taken out Absa now, but let's say, for instance, Capitec. If you had to take that same 5,000 Rand and you had to go directly to Capitec and bought their shares at their stock prices, here, the first year it was a low of 405, high of 615, and so on and so on. Before the lockdown, Capitec was trading at, I think, 1,300 and something per share that they were trading at. And It fell down to something like 800 or something again now. But whatever the case may be, if you had to go and buy once a year, buy once into the share, into the company, and sell once into the company, if that same 5,000 rand could have made you over 29,000 profit over a period of 5 years.
Yeah.
But now keep in mind that is trading once a year. How many times do you guys think people can trade a day?
Maybe 5 times.
5, 6, 10 times. Our company sometimes send out 11 to 12 trading signals per day.
Wow.
And I'm gonna get to the trading signals now. So on a monthly basis, depends on how much money you obviously have in your trading account and how you divide it between companies and blah blah blah. You can trade as many times as you want a day. That is completely up to you. Because the same thing that's happening on a yearly basis with the scale, for instance, if I had to go back to that slide over there, how things work is that every single company or every single movement on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange has got, when you trade, everything's got a movement. So everything's either going up or it's going down. It's going up or it's going down. It's going up, it's going down. Now this, when you invest your money, they take it over a 1 year period. So they will basically, let's say in the beginning of the year, the share price is there. They will start investing your money there. They will then sell it at the highest point for that year. Okay. But this same movement is happening every single day with every single company. So what you as a client can do is in the morning you can buy your share there. In the afternoon you sell your share there. Later the afternoon you buy it again there. Later that afternoon you sell it again there. Making it possible for you to buy and sell every single day as many times as you want. Because every single company's prices do go up and they do go down on a daily basis. It's just a question of knowing when. But we're going to get to that now. So, on the screens again, you will see that I've got the movement of the Johannesburg Securities Exchange. There is green arrows and red arrows, as I explained earlier in the presentation. Now, once everybody actually those of you who actually watch the news will see after every news bulletin, they show the markets, the financial markets. So there's these little green arrows and red arrows, and this has gone up, this has gone down. Let's start with the first one, meaning the green arrow is what we call a long trade. Now, a long trade is when you buy something at a small amount and you sell it at a higher amount. For instance, let's say, for instance, I go to a cash and carry and I want to buy this pen. I see this pen lying there for 10 Rand. I buy this pen for 10 Rand. I take it back to my shop that I have. I put it on the floor for 15 Rand. So now if someone else, let's say Nicholas comes into my shop, he sees this pen, he sees, okay, it's 15 Rand, lekker bargain, he's going to take it, he gives me 15 Rand, I give him the pen, we're both happy. So what happened? I sold a pen at a profit. I bought it at a low price, I sold it at a high price. Okay, making a profit. We traded and I made a profit. That is what you call a long trade. When you buy shares at a low price and you sell shares at a high price. So if you buy shares at a low price, now the company's share prices are low, a lot of people starts buying. The more people buy, the more valuable the company becomes. So obviously the share price is going to go up. Once it's reached a certain limit, by use of indicators and help from our mentors, they will advise you then when to sell. You will then sell for more than what you bought, meaning you made a profit. So am I correct in saying that if you had to do a long trade, it will be profitable? So if I ask everybody the green arrow, that's a profit. Money made, everything went up in value. Okay. Now we get to the red arrow. The red arrow, which will show down. What does that mean for you as an investor? What does it mean for the markets?
Means the market's going down.
It shows the market.
The shares are going down.
It shows the market's going down. The share price is going down. But what does it mean for you as an investor?
A good time to buy.
Say again.
A good time for you as an investor to maybe buy on something you want to do that is low.
Okay, so you're saying that once it goes down, then you buy in order for it to go up again.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be like a good time to buy when the price is low.
Okay, but what if it's busy going down and you buy it and then it keeps going down?
Yeah, how much loss there would be? It would be a loss, yeah.
It would be a loss. So if it keeps going down and you want to buy in shares, it's going to go down. Is there anybody on the Zoom that wants to answer me? What does it mean when we see the red arrows? What does it mean for you?
There's a loss in profit.
Martin says it's a loss in profit. Nick?
Hey, so essentially when the market's going up and down, it doesn't really make a difference when you're trading, you know, because you can earn money when it's going up, you can earn money when it's going down. So essentially it doesn't really mean anything for you unless it depends when you bought, right? So I mean, on this one, for example, you'll see that, you know, when it's going down like that, you would look and try and buy it when it's pretty low with the hope that it will go up, which should obviously, if you've done your, you know, your research and so on, you should get it right. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes fantastic sense. Thank you, Nick. Okay, so basically to put Nick's answer in short, whether the market is going up or down, it doesn't matter for you as an investor. If you are trading directly on the stock market, if you're trading directly on the stock market, you've got a platform and you can buy shares directly on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. It shouldn't be an issue whether it's going up and down. The issue is knowing when to buy when it's going up and knowing when to sell when it's going down. Now, a short trade. When the market is going down and we actually make money on that, is called a short trade. Let me explain. Let's say the market is currently at 15 Rand. I can go and perform a short trade while the market is busy going down and then buy back shares at a price when it's low. The easiest way that I can explain to you guys is, let's say for instance, Nicholas approaches me and Nicholas says to me, you know what, Francois, I really want to buy a Cokie pen. I need a Cokie pen. Can you find me a Cokie pen? I will say, okay, Nicholas, you know what, give me 15 Rand. I will go and find you a Cokie pen. Nicholas gives me the 15 Rand. We go our separate ways. I go and walk around and I see, okay, by this shop there's a Cokie pen. And I asked the owner, I think, okay, this is going to be the Cokie pen that Nicholas wants. I asked the owner of the shop how much it is. He says 10 Rand. I say, fantastic. I give the owner his 10 Rand. I go back to Nicholas and I give him the pen. Now, even though the story sounds exactly similar to the previous one, we must remember that I already bought the pen at 10 Rand. Afterwards, someone came and bought the pen from me for 15 Rand. Now, I sold something to Nicholas, which I did not yet own in the second version of my story. Mm-hmm. So I did not have this pen yet.
Yeah.
But he already gave me the money for the pen. So I already made money before I even went and looked for the pen. Mm-hmm. Fortunately enough for me, I got the pen at a lower price than what Nicholas paid for it. So I took that option, I gave him the pen, I still made money. And that is what you call a short trade. You sell shares that you do not own yet.
So it's pre-selling.
Pre-selling. So you sell shares that you do not own yet for other people to buy them back from you. Okay. To put it into perspective is that, let's say for instance now, Nicholas and Justice is trading the stock market. Nicholas is now going to go and, let me just turn my thing a little bit like this. So Nicholas went now and he is going to purchase shares at the low price of 10 Rand. Justice is now waiting here to see when the market is going to dip. So Nicholas is performing a short trade. He's going to go buy shares. When it hits 15 Rand, Nicholas wants to sell his shares at 15 Rand. But now Justice sees, hey, the market's busy going down, and I want those shares. So then Justice buys these shares from him for 15 Rand. So he made his money. Now the market keeps dropping. He bought the shares he sold shares to Justice for 15 Rand. Okay. Bought it at 15 Rand, now the market's going down. Now all of a sudden Matthew is here at the bottom. He wants to buy it again at let's say 11 Rand. That 4 Rand difference there is profit that Justice will be making. Because once it goes down, Matthew, is going to buy these shares again from Justice. So there's always people at the bottom looking to buy shares, and there's always people at the bottom looking to sell shares. Okay. So you basically sell for 15 Rand. He sells it for 15 Rand, you buy it for 15 Rand, but you don't own the shares yet. And then when the market goes down, you're looking for new people to buy the shares at a cheaper price. Okay. I know it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, but now, what I can understand is that Nicholas sold it for 10, yeah? For 15. He bought it for 10 and sold it for 15 to Justice. The market dropped, the price shares are dropping, and Matthew buying it for 11 Rand. Doesn't it mean the owner is still Nicholas and not Justice?
No. Nicholas sold it.
Okay, he sold it.
Nicholas sold it.
Okay.
Remember, Justice doesn't buy the physical shares.
Yeah.
He reserves them.
I don't own them. Yeah.
He doesn't own them yet. He's
making a profit of.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's basically reserving them at the level of 15 Rand, waiting for it to go down for Matthew to come and buy it at 10 Rand. So if Matthew buys it then again at 11 Rand. If Matthew buys it at 11 Rand, that means that Justice made 4 Rand. Okay, but before we get now too involved in the explaining of the Johannesburg stuff, the share price movement, I am just showing you guys this because I feel it's necessary that you know this. This is not it doesn't have to be part of your presentation. It's just something that you know, so that when a client, and I get these a lot, when clients come to me and say, yeah, but the economy is in its mood and the stock market fell, then you can fall back on this and say, but you know what, whether it's going up or down, people are still making money. And I made quite a significant amount by selling a lot of the stuff when the lockdown started, because a lot of shares fell. And for instance, Sasol was at a low point. Sasol and oil is the two things that I'm currently looking at. I've got a lot of money invested in that. And then all of a sudden they started, boosting up again. Everything that goes down will come up again. Everything that must come up, goes up, must come down. That's the same principle. You'll see that on every single chart of every single stock market, every single company, whether it's CFDs, Forex, or commodities, they do this, they do that. They do this, they do that. Okay, so now it's just a question of knowing when to do which one. Let me just look at the chat here. Okay, 100% Oswald. Just keep an eye out for the link. Okay. Now, Stock Market College. I'm going to take I think I already have something saved. I'll put it on the group. Okay, so I've just posted 2 pictures on the group quickly. The nice thing about our company is that there are, let's say for instance, I give any one of you 10,000 Rand and I say, okay, go and buy shares on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Where would you start? Say again? No, except for what? Okay, let me rephrase the question. What if I give you 10 grand now and I say go and buy shares in a company? Which company are you going to choose?
Oh, stock market college.
We're not listed. We want to, but we're not listed yet. No, any of the companies that's listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange.
Tiger Brands.
Why?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. Okay?
I think because of their trusted brand, and their trusted brand in the sense that they've been in the market, you say, for what, how many years?
Many.
Yeah, so you know that the chances of them liquidating or collapsing, they're very, very small.
I want to find it. There's Tiger Brands. I know most of you can't see my screen now, but I'm looking up Tiger Brands Limited, Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Okay. So he said now to me that he's going to take that money and invest it in Tiger Brands. So this is only the month of May. What do you see there?
Oh, it's collapsing.
That is Tiger Brands. Okay, so everybody can see now. What happened to it? It dropped. So if you had to go and invest your money, Justice, I'm afraid you would have lost it.
I will go to Capitec.
You will go to Capitec.
Is this in real time?
Yeah, that's in real time.
Sure.
Martin says he's going to go to Capitec. I'm just going to do one more to show you guys. The last month. Dropping shares. Okay. That's fine. You can leave it there. It's kind of charged. The reason why I'm doing this is, and there's a lot of people on the Zoom group that maybe also chose something in their head. I got 2 people in the classroom that chose 2 different companies, and both of them would have lost money just by going according to what they know at this current point in time. Okay. The reason for this exercise is, at the Stock Market College, I want everybody to just look at their cell phones. I sent on the group a message that looks like this.
What's the group?
SMC, something. I think the date. So for those of you who are not on the group or are on the group, you need to find a picture that looks like that. Sien jy op die groepie?
I've got you on WhatsApp.
Okay, gaan jy nou wys. Kan jy my sien op die skerm daar? So let me do this.
I'm not on the repeat.
It's not posted yet. Okay, let me go there. Stop share, start share, and go there. All right. So this is the picture that I want you guys to see on the group. Should look like that. Did everybody get it on the group? Just give me thumbs up. Just so I know that some of you, okay, so that go through on the group. Okay, fantastic. So basically what this is this picture is what we send our clients every single day that the stock market is open. This is called trading signals. Okay? So for instance, you will see that there is on the one picture, there's a lot of Forex movement happening, a lot of Forex trading signals. The Canadian against the Japan, the pound against the Swiss franc, pound against USD, Swiss franc, JPY, Euro, JPY. All right, so we will then, from our side, every single morning, once you become a client, we install MetaTrader for you, you will get a signal. We are going to tell you what company to buy. We're going to tell you when to sell it and where to put your stop loss. We're going to tell you what currency to buy, when to sell it. So on these SMSs, you guys will see that it says there. Let's go to the next one. Did I post another one? Yes. So the first picture is mostly CFDs. Okay, well, the first 2 is CFDs. That's OMU is Old Mutual, and then obviously Sanlam as well. So we would say, for instance, on the 11th of May, quick trading signal, 11 May, OMU, which is Old Mutual, buy at 13 Rand 39 and take profit at 16 Rand, but put your stop loss at 12 Rand 23. I'm going to show you guys now why the stop loss is so important. So every single person in our company that wants to trade and they don't know where to start, we're going to tell you where to do it. Now, we get audited every month through the FSCA. And for the last 3 running years, we have got an 85% accuracy success rate through our trading signals. So, meaning that 85% of our signals were spot on or excelled. 15% of the time, some clients lost money or they broke even. Okay, that is the last 3 years. Yes, Nicholas?
Where will this information come from? Who finds this information for the...
Okay, so at head office, we've got about, I think, 30 odd, maybe 40 something stockbrokers and mentors. That's their job.
Just find it and say it.
They trade for Quick Trade Plus clients, and obviously in order for them to trade for Quick Trade Plus clients, they need to find where and what to do. So they look at, thanks to technology, we can sort of follow patterns and algorithms of stuff that already happened. So if you go and take, for instance, a company like Pick n Pay, their statistics of last year would be more or less the same as this year, except now from fucking March 25th, 27th. It will be more or less the same. So then they can follow, and these people then follow these patterns and they do predictions. However, there are indicators, market indicators. I will give you guys just a small little example now, but I don't want to get too much into detail. Market indicators that you will have on your application, on the app that you're using, that will tell you whether the market's going to go up or down. Now, in Stock Market College, that's what we do. We teach the people how to read those indicators. Because a lot of our clients are not even using our signals. They've got enough knowledge that they've built up at the college to make their own decisions, or they will choose a stock or a currency or whatever, and they will just stick to that. I've got one client, he is the mayor of Durbanville, and he's been trading throughout the lockdown, and he made an average of like 20 to 25,000 Rand a week. I will share that now on the group. I'll actually go into his portfolio. And he's stuck to the Australian dollar and the Swiss franc. That's basically all he trades. And he makes an average of about 4 to 5,000 Rand a day. He does have like 150k in his account, which he can play around with, but that's not the point. He first deposited, I think, 10,000. Then he saw, okay, he's making money. Then he added another 50,000, and then he added another 20 or something thousand, and it went up to I think like 150 or 160,000 that he's currently up on. Okay, I will show you guys a little bit later. But he went and he came to some of the classes. He found, okay, but I've learned a lot. What applies with one company applies with everything else on the stock market. The technique, the strategy, the indicators, everything is basically the same. Okay, the companies are different, the prices are different, but the way you're going to buy and sell the shares is exactly the same. But CFDs and Forex are two different things. Okay. So every day our clients get these SMSs through Quick Trade or through MetaTrader. So this is directly linked with the MetaTrader. They will then get these signals. You will see some of them are in the morning, some of them are in the afternoon, some of them are even at night, some of the Forex indicators. So we send out these indicators. It does not mean that that company has reached that price yet. So we will send it out, let's say at, there we say buy at 13.39 Rand, but the price might be at 14 Rand. That means that the price is going to go down and then you need to buy in. Or it's at 11 or 12 Rand. We will then say, okay, once it hits that point, then it's going to go up to that point. If you want to take the risk in buying it earlier, you do stand a chance of it dipping again. It will go up there again, but whatever the case may be. So our signals we send out to our clients every day, telling them what to buy, when to buy it, and when to sell it. So now if we go back to the presentation, where is that thing? All right. So last year is when I put this presentation together, and I took 3 trading signals, the 3 trading signals in a week's time that actually hit their take profits or excelled. So out of those 3, for instance, there was 3 in the medical field. I can't remember what happened last year, but something did happen in the medical field, and all the medical Netcare, the pharmacies and all those went up. So let's say, for instance, now, I think this was in November somewhere. If you had to be a client in November and you took $5,000, you became a client, came to the classes, we showed you how to do things, you took that money, and the first company, I think this was on a Tuesday, I'm not exactly sure, but it did happen, all of these three was in a week. Let's admit these people. So if you had to take the money, the $5,000, and we said that morning, one of the messages, the trading signals were Mediclinic, MEI short for the JSE code. We said to buy at 68.54, which would have gotten you 72 shares. And we said to sell at 77 Rand and 15 cents. So for that specific day, if you had to buy 5,000 Rand worth of shares, you would have gotten 72 shares. You sold them at 77 Rand 15, and you would have made 554 Rand profit. That's day number 1. Day number 2, we said that signal was Dischem, short DCP, and we said to buy the shares at 22 Rand and sell them at 27 Rand 50. Now, if you've taken the 5,554 Rand you made from the previous day, you bought shares, you would have gotten 252 shares. You would have sold them at 27 Rand 50. And by the end of that second day, you would have been on 6,930 Rand. Now we're already at the point where we made more money than they made in 5 years with 5,000 Rand. That's day number 2. So if you had to take that money with the profit you made, buy into this the next day, Aspen Pharmacare, and I only took this, I know for a fact this one because I bought shares in it myself. This one actually we said to buy at 94 Rand 50 and sell at 126. But Aspen went up last year, I think it was November, October, November, they went up to 138 per share. So it was even more than what we said it's going to be. But should you have taken the 6.9 that you made the previous 2 days, bought at 94.50, you would have gotten 73 shares, sold them at 126, you would have made 9,198 Rand, leaving you with a profit of 4,198 Rand in 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is what the trading signals can do for our clients. However, sometimes we are wrong. We're not always right. Nothing. There's no company or no product out there that's 100% correct every single time. So it does happen that sometimes we are wrong and we do make mistakes. Or, for instance, we will say, okay, this Sasol is gonna go up with 40 Rand today, but somewhere in Korea they're busy testing a nuclear bomb, and that affects some market in Australia, and that has got something to do with the oil, which means Sasol's gonna drop. We couldn't see that shit happening, but it does have an effect on whatever's going to happen to Sasol's share prices. For instance, the oil and Sasol is always, they're 3 days out, but they're always pulling each other whichever way. All right. So now sometimes we are wrong. So now we have discovered that with MetaTrader 5, there's a function on it called the auto trailing stop loss. This is the first program, tradable platform that has got this function. Okay, what that means, let's say for instance you want to buy shares. We say we are going to tell you to buy your shares at 100 Rand. We're going to say to sell your shares at 120 Rand, but we say we're going to put your stop loss at 98 Rand. Now a stop loss is exactly what it says. Let me just stop sharing here. A stop loss is exactly what it says. It stops you from losing money. If you have a stop loss in place, let's say for instance you bought your shares now at Talk and Discount this morning at 100 Rand, and for some reason we were wrong. We made a misjudgment. This scheme is not going to go up. All of a sudden it started dropping down. If you put your stop loss in at 98 Rand, it's going to drop till 98 Rand. It's going to sell the share automatically, and the losses will be deducted from your trading account. Now this stop loss over here is always calculated percentage-wise according to your buy-in price. Meaning that, let's say for instance, this is now R2 difference. So that's 2% of 100 Rand. The platform is always going to calculate it percentage-wise. If the shares had to go down, it's going to sell it automatically. That means you've lost R2 per share. It stops you from going further than it's supposed to, because if this thing keeps dropping and you don't have a stop loss in place, you're going to lose a lot. Okay. But let's say we were accurate. The market did go up, however, it did not reach 120. So what's going to happen is, if you bought your shares at 100 Rand, you put your stop loss at 98, it's a 2% difference, and now your share starts growing. Let's say it gets to the point here of 115 Rand. Now, this stop loss, which is called an auto trailing stop loss, is going to always follow your price movement. And it's always going to stay 2% behind whatever the price is at that time.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, so let's say now it did go up to 115 Rand. We said it's going to go up to 120, but we were wrong again. So it went up to 115, and now it starts turning. 2%, let's just for argument's sake say this is 113 Rand where your stop loss is going to be. Should the market then start dropping, it's going to hit 113 Rand, it's going to sell the stock, and it's going to put the difference in your trading account. Now, let's say it went up from there to 115. Did I lose money?
No.
No.
Yes, I did.
But not as much.
Yes.
It went up to 115. So obviously, if I was keeping an eye on my trade and I closed it just before it started turning, I would have made 15 Rand profit per sale. Or yeah, was it 15? Yeah. If I didn't see it, it would have turned up and it would have sold at 13 Rand. I did lose 2 Rand per share because I could have made 115.
Yeah.
But in general, I've made 13 Rand a share. Are you guys with me?
So it sells it completely at stop loss. So
Stop loss, it closes the trade completely, and if it sells, if it reaches your take profit or it reaches your stop loss, it closes the trade. You can't stop it. Okay. Now we get some cases where it goes up to 115. Your stop loss is now at 113. It starts dipping, but here at 13.50, it starts going up again. What's going to happen with your stop loss? It's just going to carry on moving upwards with your movement, with the top price.
But it stays within the 2%.
Yeah. It stays within the 2%. It always gets calculated percentage-wise. Now, we've said to put your take profit 120 Rand. If it gets to 120 Rand, it's going to sell and it's going to put the funds into your trading account with the profit. Brokerage commission already deducted. But in some cases, and it's happened about 3 or 4 times this year, where we said sell at 120 and then this thing fucking went up to 150. It's a loss. You could have made an extra 30 Rand per share, but we didn't say you can. We said it's going to stop there. So we kept our promise. You made your 20 Rand or whatever, and profit is made. As you advance in the college, you will start learning to predict whether it's going to go up, whether it's going to go down. Do your own analysis, and then you don't have to put in a take profit. I don't trade with a take profit at all.
Like safety.
It's a safety net.
Yeah.
It's basically a safety net. So yes, sometimes now it will go up to 120. Your stop loss will be your 2% underneath, and if it carries on and on and on, it's just going to carry on growing with the price. And once it starts turning again, it's going to sell automatically. Remember that the more the price gets, the more the percentage also gets. So 2% is still 2%, but 2% on 100 Rand is 2 Rand, 2% on 1,000 Rand is 200 Rand. Up to 20 Rand. Okay. So that is one of the benefits that our company has with the quick the MetaTrader that we actually have that our clients use. The stop loss. If a client asks you, can I lose money on the stock market? Your first and only answer should be yes. Of course you can lose money on the stock market. We can teach you to put in stop losses and take profits and whatever, but the moment you leave this office or you sign off Zoom, I don't have control of anybody. And we've had people that they don't put in stop losses, they don't put in take profits, and then they'll go up and make coffee on Forex. By the time you get back, boom, gone. I've had that, experienced it myself. I will make sure that coffee is made, food is made. I went to the toilet before I start trading at 10 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, you move your ass.
But I want to ask, say for instance, if we decide now, listen here, I'm going to pick a pay, right?
Yeah.
And our purchase it for 100 rand. So can I put immediately the stop loss in?
Yeah. Immediately. Let me refer back to the screen.
And also the take profit or not?
Everything. So on the computer, obviously this is an old screen. It has been updated. So on the computer, this is what your your MetaTrader will look like. They made it a little bit more fancier now in the last couple of months. So once you want to open a trade, you're going to get this little thing here. So on MediClinic, for instance, this is now an example of MediClinic. If you want to open a trade, you're going to look at the market price over here. So now you can, I'm not going to go into this, but you can reserve a price. You can put in your full price so long for when it gets to that point. But over here, you're going to put your stop loss, and they're going to put your take profit. They're going to put the amount of shares you want to buy, and so on. So you put your stop loss and your take profit before you even buy the shares or sell the shares. Okay. But I don't want to get too into detail. You guys must remember that in this business, I don't expect anyone here to actually know a lot about the stock market. Obviously, there's a lot of mathematical stuff involved in the stock market to work out this and work out that. All I need everybody to know is that if you want to show a client percentage-wise how much money he can make with his bank and how much money he can make with his trading, you just need to know how to do the amount plus 6% equals.
Yeah.
That is basic, okay? And then with the share prices, it's also easy. The equation for that, the formula for that, so let's say, for instance, now I've got 5,000 Rand and I want to buy shares at 12.50 Rand. I want to sell the shares at 18 Rand. How am I going to do this? I'm going to work out my share quantity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the amount and I'm going to divide it by the price low. I'm going to take the amount and divide it by the price low. So the 5,000 Rand divide by 12.50 gives us what? 5,000 divided by 12.50 gives us 400. So now I'm going to get my share quantity. So it's 400 shares. Okay. So in order for me to find out how many shares I can buy, I'm going to take my 5,000 divided by my price low, and I will get the amount of shares that I can buy. Now if I did that, I'm going to get 400 shares. Now I want to sell my shares at 18 Rand, which means that I'm going to take my share quantity and I'm going to multiply it by the price high, and that's going to give me my profit. So 400 times 18 it's going to give me 7,200 Rand. I've already invested 5,000 Rand, so I'm going to minus the 5,000 Rand, which leaves me with 2,200 Rand profit if I had to buy a share in that price. Okay, so buying shares, working out, take your amount and you divide it by the price low. That is how many shares you're going to get. Then you're going to take the amount of shares that you have, multiply it by the price high. That's where you're going to sell it, and then you know how much money you've made. Okay. Do I have any questions so far?
Francois, just the name of the company that you spoke about earlier with regards to if they do not have enough funds, you have a company that invests in them or provides them with financial...
Okay, yeah, we've got one company called CTI. It's Credit Something International. They're based in Vasco Boulevard, Goodwood. They finance all of our clients. However, they are quite strict when it comes to the credit terms and the credit, whether it's debt review, the credit scores and shit like that. But we do also have a very good partnership with Capitec, so we can refer people to Capitec, and then there's also a company called Direct Access, but they the people need to go and apply on their own. Yeah, say again?
For loan there.
Yeah. Yeah, see, if people can't afford, if people don't have the money to invest, we can either provide them with the money, finance them, then they have to do the classes, they have to make money to pay back that financing.
Yeah.
But for people who's got money to invest, obviously they don't need to pay us anything back. It's just the course fees and the monthly subscription fees and so on and so on. Brokerage fees and whatever. Okay. So, the nice thing about our company is we give the trading signals, and we cancel out the whole factor of people having to analyze their own markets or going to look for the companies that they have to invest into. It just makes it a lot easier for people. Okay. I think if we can take another 15-minute break, I just want to see quickly. Okay. I think before we take a break, I'm rather going to carry on till 2 o'clock. Then we are finished for the day. Then tomorrow we're going to get back into the training. We're going to discuss the pricing. Let me just see. Is it possible you could see? Okay.
My story is that a couple of months ago, I downloaded MetaTrade.
Yeah.
But I don't understand anything. Because one of my friends are in forex trading, And just before I saw your ad on Friday, on Thursdays, he phoned me and said, "Listen, you must come through to me after the lockdown so I can learn how to trade." And I also make some sort of investment into my coin bank, and they said it's a scam, and so that guy phoned me on Friday also to start. He wants to teach me how to trade, And he just phoned me now, between 1 and 2. I'm free, not knowing that the door will be open very next to me, And the anchor phoned me and said, "Lazuli, you're coming on the show." So
Okay, well, that's good. What I just want to add to that is that there's a lot of people that want to trade on the stock market. I just want to clear this quickly. And for those who start trading a little bit successful, obviously see that there's opportunity to make a lot more money if you have more money. And that is where people start getting themselves into shit, because then they start approaching other people to say, okay, you know what, I want to start trading, or I started trading, I'm making money, let me help you, to make money. And if you are not a registered stockbroker with the correct licenses and stuff, the moment you take money from someone and you place it on the JSE, 5 years immediately. And they catch you 5 years. Immediately. Just be careful. I'm not going to tell you where to invest or however to invest. But just be careful. Guys, I just want to tell you quickly. Just mute. Okay, so compound interest. Is it 10,000? My mind is warm al.
Nie overheat nie.
I think that should. Yes, let me see. All right.
So when you trade, do you have to buy and sell the same day?
Mm-mm. Oh, you can choose over time period. So yeah, I usually work on a 15 period scale. So I will buy and sell on many times a day. For instance, if you look at this chart here, if I zoom in, this will be, you'll see the times here. Every step is 15 minutes apart. But now if I want to buy over a day, then my chart is going to change. There's the 11th, 12th, 13th, up into here. If you want to look at more over a monthly period, the chart is going to change. So in a day, it might go up and down, but even though it goes, let's say from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, it goes up a lot, and you make a lot of money there. Over a weekly period, it still shows it's going down,
Yeah.
if the overall pricing.
Yeah, so if you want to be more aggressive daily,
Yeah.
but you can also lose much more money quicker.
You can lose a lot more money, yeah. So investing over a longer period is more safer, but I don't have time for wait.
No, because I mean, clients are going to ask that. I mean, do I have to sit in front of a PC today and just?
No, if you put your, we work on a day trade. So most of our clients do daily trades. Obviously, the more advanced they get, then they will start learning, over a longer period, if they want to. But we've got a lot of aggressive traders that do it over 5-minute windows, which is ridiculous for me. You have to sit like this the whole time in front of your screen. That's why I'm going to show you guys the video now of head office of Quick Trade Plus people. They've got five to six screens in front of them. So that's all they do is they go like this, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell.
Playing tennis.
Yeah, it's like playing tennis. No, I've got a business to run and I've got 5 kids with a lot of pets. I don't have time for 5-minute windows. So yeah, when I'm at work, I do 15 minutes. Forex at night, I do 15 minutes.
Franjo,
Yeah, boom.
the activity of, if you're investing into a company itself, the activity of the company, does that affect the trade quite big on that scale? So let's say with the lockdown that's happening now, if a business can't operate, their charts drop.
Yeah.
But if they're pumping through this lockdown, through like masks and sanitizers, it goes up.
It's going to go up, yeah. So for instance, this scheme did quite good during the lockdown until they got fined by the Competition Commission for that fucking mask story. This scheme's share prices the shares were frozen for 3 days. Nobody could buy or sell shares into the company until they've paid their fines. But yeah, if everything that happens in a company. So for instance, if you want to do day trade and you want to do it on a small scale, I just want to share my screen here quickly again. If you want to do it on a small scale, you'll go for something like, let's say for something like Pick n Pay. Because what happens at Pick n Pay is, when is Pick n Pay the busiest? No, I'm talking like let's say on a Tuesday morning, on a Tuesday. It's busy in the morning, it's busy lunchtime, it's busy in the evening. So before people go to work, they'll grab a pie or a Coke and a what, and then
lunchtime.
So lunchtime now they're quiet. Let's say between 9 o'clock till 12. Yeah, from 11:30, 12 o'clock they start getting busy again till 2 o'clock. Then they're like a bit quiet again, and then they get busy here from 5. Yeah, 4:30. People start buying bread and milk and whatever for the house for the next day. So those are the timelines for, and I'm just specifically talking about Pick n Pay in general as an example. It's not to say that all of these companies do that. There you will see spikes in the chart movement if you put it over a smaller amount of time. So then our day traders will look at that when you trade like on 15-minute to hours. So yeah, but let's say for instance, what a lot of people don't realize, and I use this in my presentations as well. Let's take a stupid little thing. Everybody knows Heinz ketchup. It's tomato sauce that you get when you go and buy KFC. You get these little red tomato sauce packet. It comes from a company called Heinz. Heinz ketchup. So now, let's say for instance, you take and Heinz is a division of, I think, Pioneer Foods. But Heinz you can also you can either buy separate. A lot of Pioneer Foods you can buy separate into the shares, or you can buy into Pioneer in general. But let's say now, for instance, and this is a stupid thing which amazed me, because once I saw this about 6 years ago, and I couldn't believe it. So every December month, everybody knows KFC, no? Every December month or every school holiday, what happens?
More service, more business.
People buy more. People go on holiday. They buy either, whether it's McDonald's or whether it's KFC or Steers or whatever the case, Nando's. All of those fucking outlets have got Heinz tomato sauce packets in there, in the packet. So you get your 3 burgers and your Coke and your whatever. You get your salt and you'll have a Heinz tomato sauce.
Yeah.
KFC itself orders 15 more times of that Heinz tomato sauce just over December month. So let's say the order quantity overall is like 100 packets, then they will purchase 1,500 packets for December month. So imagine yourself now, just before December, you take 10 grand, you go and buy Heinz tomato sauce into their share price. So obviously, they usually start ordering this shit like in November or whatever. But once you know that once those people are going to start purchasing, and this is only on KFC, that they ordered 15 times more of those little tomato sauce packets to give away to clients in their with their meals. So if you had to go and take money and just bought into that specific part of that company, you would have made 15 times the amount of money. Well, not literally 15%, but just for that little sachets. We're talking about a 10 to 15% profit on a daily basis over a period of a month. So something stupid like that people don't realize can make a killing. Over school holidays, these foam packs, burger foam thingy-majigs. Nampak, yeah, they sell enormously amount of them. Sugar, sachets, pepper, salt and pepper. And that's shit people never look at. You can become a fucking millionaire from a sachet of Heinz that they don't even sell. They give it to you for free.
Yeah.
But KFC have to buy from Heinz tomato sauce or from Pioneer Foods. And that is the vast, that's what people don't really look at. That's what they don't see. They see, Naspers and Nasdaq and Dow Jones. Fuck them, man. Go and start small. These small little companies. Capitec, before I play this video, Capitec, for instance, when Capitec listed themselves 11 years ago, Capitec has been in existence for about 16, 17 years, but they only really made their mark, let's say about 13 years ago, and they listed themselves in the JSE 11 years ago, okay? So, when they listed themselves on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, their share price was R2.35. So, Justice, go on your calculator quick. If you have to take,
My phone just died.
who's got a, okay, well, I've got one here. So let's say, for instance, let's say you took 11 years ago, you took 10,000 Rand, and you bought shares at R2.35. You would have gotten 4,255 shares. Okay, 4,255 shares. That's what you would have bought 11 years ago in Capitec. Before the lockdown, Capitec's share price was 1,385 Rand. So you take your 4,000, what did I say, 4,255 times 1,300, 1,385 Rand. That's 5.8 million Rand.
For the 10 grand investment.
Of 10 grand. So in 10 years, you could have made almost 6 million Rand from 10,000 Rand. And this is, I mean, Capitec, when Capitec came into existence, everybody's like, cock bank, man. 5 Rand bank fees. Cock, no one charges 5 Rand bank fees.
Yeah.
Can't live with it. Where is this bank going to go? And look now. Voted second largest bank in South Africa.
And they built a huge office block now in Stellenbosch.
Exactly.
Technopark. Huge, and they own that.
Exactly. So yeah, these are things that people need to look at. And Capitec I know they went down before the lockdown to, let's look quickly.
As a matter of interest, my daughter is working for them. She said, in the last month, Capitec was the only company that employs people.
Yeah, they still employ people, yeah. So here on this chart, we can see, this is where the lockdown more or less occurred. So they went from 1,000, you see there, just before the lockdown, it was still 1,300, it was 58, not 85. So here it dropped to 1,290, drop, and here a day or what later, or yeah, a couple of days later, it was on 814 Rand a share. Then 3 days later, it went, well, not even a month later, it went back up to 1,035 Rand a share. It's currently trading now at 816 Rand a share. So even if you go in now, it's 1,000. If you buy in shares 816, it's gonna go back to 1,400 and whatever. There, when was this? The 19th of February, 1,441 Rand a share, and it's gonna go back to that. And so these are things that people need to look at. Yes, it's not doing good now, but the lockdown's not gonna last forever. And that's something that people need to realize. The lockdown's not gonna last forever. And once things go back to normal, Papi, amazing shit's gonna happen. Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to log off quickly. I'm going to finish with this. I am going to post the presentation of Hardus on the group. I was going to make you guys watch it over Zoom, but it's just going to tell data. So I'm going to post the presentation of Hardus over Zoom. It is an hour and a half long. I will also post 3 or 4 of my presentations that I did record through the lockdown. There's English and Afrikaans versions. I want you guys to just choose any one of them. Just watch Hardus's. Leave mine alone. We'll get to mine later. Just take this hour and a half and go and see how he does the presentation. Now, this guy, he did a presentation to him. It was somewhere end of last year. I'm not exactly sure where it was. And this guy was so impressed that he wanted to buy a branch of Stock Market College. And then we eventually found out that he stays in Zambia. So now he is the actual owner of our Zambian branch. So then he obviously wanted training on how to do the presentation. So I just said to him, okay, you know what? I'm going to do a presentation for you. I'm going to record it. And you've got the thing. And I'll post some pictures later. He opened the branch of the Zambian branch. And that's fantastic. Will we receive the slides as well? I will post it. Yeah, I will definitely post it on the group. Okay. So just watch this. It's a 2-minute video quickly. For those of yeah. This is how our head office in Johannesburg looks like. And you'll see that, yeah, they don't play around.
I can go directly onto the site and go and see.
Yeah. I will post the... Bulls and bears. The stock market is bulls and bears. Let's just let it buffer quickly. I'm going to post on the group the website also. Yeah, man. Buffering. For the whole stock market. Okay, I'm just going to pause it. You guys get the picture. Question that I have here: how many? I don't know. I don't know how many consultants in total, but
It was you?
in the Western Cape, I've got about 90. I'll have to go and find out. Just over 90, and then the Blouberg branch has got about 30 or 40 working for them. But I know head office itself has got like over 400 consultants. But every branch is different. Some branches are smaller, some branches are bigger. Branches are bigger, and so obviously some will have more, some will have less. I want to open at least another 3 or 4 branches in the Western Cape, because now we've got one in northern suburbs. We've got one in on Blouberg side. I want one in southern suburbs, Somerset. Hopefully, like on the more to the Boland Paul, service those Worcester and Robertson and Wellington clients. Lungi, you've got your hand up. You want to ask something? Wait.
Capitec, yeah.
Again?
The example you made of Capitec, right? So when the share price goes up to say about 1,000 rand,
yeah.
How does one actually make profit from that? Is it money that comes into your account on a daily basis, or how does that actually work?
Okay, so every time you trade shares, if you buy shares at 10 rand and you sell them at 20 rand, you make 10 rand profit. So that money is going directly into your trading account, which you can withdraw, and it'll be available within 24 hours. So it's actual physical money.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, yes, thank you very much.
All right. So guys, please do not mistake the stock market for Bitcoin. I had a conversation with someone here inside with Bitcoin. Bitcoin and the stock market is two completely different things. Bitcoin hasn't even been around for like maybe 7-8 years, where the stock market has been around for like 140 years or 130 years. Whatever the case may be. But once you open a trading account, you deposit money in there, you make profit on the stock market, you can withdraw that money immediately. Obviously, depending on what company or what bank you are, it will be available within 24 to 48 hours. Okay. So yeah, I've posted the website on the group. I want you guys to also go and have a look at it. You'll find it on the group that there are a section where there's testimonials. What we like to do is we get testimonials from our clients. Any sales consultant can sell anybody anything and by talking shit. So let's say, for instance, I can go to a client, I can tell any client any sort of cuck that I want in order for them to buy something from me. But the nice thing that we have from the website is that we've got client relations that speak to our clients to ask them, if you're happy, would you be willing to do a video or type something out or whatever the case may be. So the best way that I can convince clients to join the company, why are we? Don't ask me, ask the clients that's already client. So on the website, there's a special section for testimonials. There's videos of clients currently being clients that's been making money, and they give their little 2 cents. You'll find a lot of stuff on the website. Tomorrow we're going to discuss the period of the course, the pricing of the course, how much it costs, how long, what happens exactly when they start, and we'll go through all of that. But yeah, you can go and do your research. For those of you who, okay, what I want is, except now for the pricing of the course, I want everybody tomorrow to have 2 questions for me. And I'm going to go through every single person before we start the training. Training is going to be a little bit longer tomorrow. Let's say till about maybe 3:30 at the latest. But I really want to finish with you guys so that you can start earning some money. I want to make my first payouts next week. I want you guys to ask me a question as a consultant. So it'll be a question that you as a new consultant have for us, for me, whether it's regarding the company, the product, the market, whatever the case may be. And then I want you to go and think about what we do and what you've learned today. And if you had to be the client who it's been presented to, what will your question be as a client? Okay. Now this is excluding the price. The price we're going to do first thing tomorrow morning. So excluding the price, anything else. So one as a consultant, one as a client. Okay. You'll also find when I moved to Cape Town, and I actually learned from some of my consultants, there's a website called Hello Peter. I'm sure that some of you are familiar with Hello Peter. Yeah. So what we actually did is, I didn't know about this and others didn't know about this, but eventually we got to know about this. And Hello Peter is a complaint site. Okay, yeah. So I want to talk about this also tomorrow. You guys are more than welcome to go on Hello Peter, go search Stock Market College. What I want you to focus on is read the complaints. Don't worry about the compliments. Read the complaints, because there are complaints, and then read how they've been handled. So any company that's listed on you can say listed on Hello Peter. There's obviously people that go and complain about these companies. I want you to go and see how Zelda van Pletsen, that's the owner's wife, how she handles these companies, these complaints. Every single person that does lodge a complaint on for Stock Market College on Hello Peter does get their own personal, they post their message for every complaint. So she will reply on every complaint and then obviously explain. So I want you guys to just go and look at a couple of complaints, ignore the compliments, look at a couple of complaints, and then come tell me what you guys think. We've actually put on our website a running post of Hello Peter. So let me just show quickly. I will answer the people in the chat room now. So how our website basically looks is, it's over here is our website. You can see and find everything here, but at the bottom, we've got a Hello Peter strip. So as the people are commenting here, we can actually see. All right. So you can go into your homework. In the chat site, I've got questions. Let me see. Will we receive the slides as well? I'm going to post the full PowerPoint presentation tomorrow morning.
So what was the first question?
Okay, so the first, I just want to answer it quickly. Michaela, if you can hear me, I'm going to post the slides as soon as, first thing in the morning. There's still a couple of things in the slides that I need to talk to you guys about. Yeah, so I want one question from everybody. I'm going to go down the list and everybody needs to ask me. One question that you want to ask me as a consultant, as a new employee of the Stock Market College. And then I want you to ask me a question putting yourself in a client's position. So with the knowledge you currently have of what we do and how we do things, if I were to do a presentation to you, what would your question as a client be?
So it's role play.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, I want to do as many FAQs as possible with you consultants, because and obviously we're going to have the chat groups in the chat facility, and I'm going to add some of the senior consultants and the team leaders to the group so that you guys can ask them anything. But before that, I need you guys to be as knowledgeable as I possibly can get you before the end of the 2 days. Okay. Obviously, for the next week or so, we are still going to experience some difficulties in certain things. You guys are going to ask a lot of questions because once you go home now, your mind's going to start working overtime. You're going to get the websites and whatever and get some more questions for tomorrow. So for the next week or two, I'm still going to be answering a lot of your questions. But think of the ones that you want to know now. The rest of the stuff we can sort out. Okay. All right, guys. So I think we are done for the day. I do have presentations at 3 o'clock, which I need to prepare for. I have already posted on the group the link for the presentation that Hardus did with our Zambian client, our Zambian owner. Okay, so no go ahead. And then I will later this afternoon post a couple of other stuff also on the group that might help you a little bit with getting to understand our product better. Okay. Guys, please start logging on from 10 to 10 tomorrow morning. I will be starting my training again at 10 o'clock. For those of you who are struggling or think you might struggle, start logging in from like 9:30 already so we can sort out all the problems so that the meeting doesn't have to carry on longer than it should. All right. Are there any questions for me before we log off for the day? Hands up, or if you are good, just give me a thumbs up.
Good. I'm good.
I'm good too.
I open.
Okay, I am going to assume that the rest of the people that don't put their thumbs up are good. I'm going to take a screenshot now and question all of them that didn't say they're good. We'll question them tomorrow. Okay. Then just one last thing. For the guys who are on Zoom, if you are not going to give your full attention to the training, I would suggest you just switch your phone off and carry on with life. I don't need to see everybody's faces, but some of the people that the faces I can't see haven't responded once to any of the questions that I have asked during the day or any of the statements that I made. So to save yourself data or whatever the case may be, rather just not log in. I'm sure that with the current financial situations that you guys are experiencing and the current employment rate of South Africa, you will fit in comfortably at ShopRite or Checkers packing something. Okay, so if you guys are interested in making real money, I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning at 10 to 10. Same ID, same password. So you're going to use the same ID and the same password. Thank you guys. You can start logging off. Enjoy your day.
Start, Baru. As I leave meeting.